Right brand bacon. Bigger, better bacon. Find out more at biggerbetterbacon.com.
We want to talk right down to earth in a language that everybody here can easily understand.
And now it's time for the voice.
Don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
I want you to get up right now.
Go to the window,
Open it.
stick your head out and yell.
Hated man! Top of the world!
The voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin.
You know I don't speak Spanish. In English, please.
Look in my eyes, what do you see? The cult of personality. I know your anger, I know your dreams. I've been everything you wanna be. Oh, I'm the cult of personality. Like Mussolini and Kennedy.
Good Thursday afternoon to you. You have found the voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin. I'm your host, Tom Schmitz. Buddy will be along in the second hour. Lori Martin Gregory to join us momentarily. It is Thursday. Lori and I take the first hour. On today, during the first hour, Lori's going to introduce a new segment. When she gets here, she'll tell us more about that. The Mommy Minute. So if you're a mom if you're a mom sitting in the car line right now, this is a segment designed just for you. The Mommy Minute. Lori will tell us more about that when she gets here. Also, JJ Del Salva joins us. JJ, how are you today?
I'm good. Ready for Mommy Minute, Tom. I need that.
I'm looking forward to that.
I need that.
I'm looking forward to that. Summer movies. You been to a movie yet this summer? Or
I
was
wouldn't
Django
consider
the
it
last one?
summer even.
Was Django the last movie you went to?
Django is the last movie I've been to. So that was probably like January.
So you hadn't been to, like, Fast and Furious, what is it, 134?
6. My friends did see it. We're sort of like in love with them because they're so cheesy.
I know, they're terrible.
They are. And he told me, I mean, it's what you expected.
Right.
And we could have written the dialogue.
Well, we'll talk about the upcoming summer movies. There's one in particular that comes out soon that I really want to go see. I'm going to go see Hangover 3. You have no desire to go see that movie.
Hangover 2 was a disaster.
Hangover 1 was very good. They tried to catch lightning in a bottle with Hangover 2. It was a complete disaster.
But I heard for the third one
they're
not
going back to Vegas.
Yeah, but they're not going to do the same premise like they all passed out and got to find out what happens. That's not what they do.
No, they're not doing that this time. That's my understanding as well. So,
Lori in the studio, by the way.
With her.
Welcome.
Lori does join us now. Lori, we're really anticipating this Mommy Minute. You've designed this for the moms out there that are listening during the 3 to 4 hour. If they're sitting in the school parking line, the school pickup line, they're on the radio, you're going to give them some tips. What is the Mommy Minute? Go ahead and explain it to us.
Well, it's definitely...
It's going to be longer than a minute, isn't it?
No, it might actually be shorter than a minute. But, minutes are something that mommies don't have a lot of. It's definitely, as Oprah says, one of the most underrated jobs in the world. And yet one of the most important, of course, because we're raising the future generations.
It's the most underpaid.
Definitely the most underpaid and the hardest. She will tell you, and she does not have children, but it is the hardest job that you'll ever love. I'm going to start a segment today called the Mommy Minute, and it'll just be some headlines that are really relevant for moms and, kids, things that you can use in your everyday life to help you to make better decisions as a mom.
Well, and then we're going to talk about summer movies. We're also going to talk about greens.
Yeah, we're going to talk about greens and how to get them in your diet and the importance of rotating them and what that means. Also,
in the second hour, Buddy's going to have a Defense of the Dads, part 2. So we got the Mommy Minute in the first hour and Defense of the Dads. Your father's really... we had a man on yesterday talking about the... Frederick Goodall talking about the 7 traits of a real man.
Yeah.
And we got to a discussion about how the fathers are being portrayed as just bonehead wimps on TV and everything, and they're really being poked fun at. Whatever happened to the strong dad that was that was on television, that was a role model and everything, and that dads sometimes get a bad shake. So your dad is coming to defense of dads, and he's going to have part 2 of that.
Interesting.
Heather James Tom James' wife. She'll stop by with celebrations in a box.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
I'm very interested in that. It's her company, Celebrations in a Box.
I want one.
And then in the sports hour, Mark Long checks in from Destin, the SEC meetings. Franz Beard, Mr. Golf is actually going to make an appearance. And then the ever popular JJ's Corner Kick. So we got a full day lined up today. But
a little something from everybody.
Yeah.
Who
did we miss? Did we leave anybody out?
Sean's in the, but Sean's putting podcasts.
Is he still in the doghouse though from last week?
No. Sean's fine.
He's fine. Okay, good.
He's recovered.
Oh, good. I'm glad he's back.
He's recovered.
Good.
So
maybe we need to throw in a little social media nugget just for Sean.
What are we going to throw for Sean?
I don't know. We'll find something. A little Sean surprise.
So it's a full day here on this Thursday for the Voice of Ocala. A little gloomy outside. Looks like Sean had a very good analogy. He said, even Mother Nature's ADD. Look, it's the sun. No, it's raining. No, it's the sun. Look
over
it's
here,
raining.
Shiny thing. Nope, it's just raindrops. It actually rained yesterday while it was sunny.
Well, you know what my mother used to say?
Someone's getting married.
No, my mother used to tell me, and it made no... As a kid, I just took it. But then once I got older, and she would say it, I'm like, Mom.
I've heard this, too.
Stop.
It doesn't make sense.
She'd say the devil's beating his wife with a dish rag.
Yeah.
I never heard that.
I never heard with a dish rag, but I always heard devil's beating his wife.
And I'm like, okay, the rain's falling. The devil's supposed to be
have
below
a
us.
backstory. I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah, you got to figure out what's the urban legend.
Your mom just didn't say that, and everybody says that.
I never heard that. I've heard it means someone's getting married. When the sun's shining and it's raining, someone's getting married.
Maybe it's a southern.
Because it's happy tears.
We're not getting married.
Well, I know that.
Not in this.
I didn't say you guys. You're terminal bachelors, both of you.
Oh,
So
yes.
you're never getting married.
How's
that feel?
It didn't hurt me.
Considering I'm 23, you can't say that.
Yeah, but
Tom,
I know. I lived in L.A. for 10 years. I know a terminal bachelor when I see one.
Has not upset me a bit.
No, didn't even flinch over here. Obviously,
he knows the truth.
You've clearly you've accepted that.
I've accepted that fact. I've accepted the fact that when you do your mommy minute and Buddy defends dads, I got no problem with not
you just sort of
understanding
hear
any of it.
want Charlie Brown's teacher.
I love children.
I got it.
Like your son Alexander.
I know, as long as you can give him back to me.
One of the greatest kids ever.
Right.
As long as I give him back.
Because he's mine.
Exactly.
Right, not yours.
Because he's yours.
Right, got it. Mommies, if you're in the car line, just tune him out. Just don't even listen. He's not for you. It's okay. We got some good stuff for you coming up. Car line's almost over, by the way.
I know. Got about another, week?
Another week, and then it's going to be summer camp line and summer activities line, and what are all the activities that we can do for my kid this summer? And we can talk about that, too, in the second half if you want.
We'll do that coming up next on the Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source. This reprise of Ask the Cops is proudly brought to you by Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976.
A couple of weeks ago, I was involved in a minor car accident, and they said they were going to send out highway patrol. And I was wondering if this was like the new philosophy of the Sheriff's Department to keep the boots on the ground and keep our sheriffs out there trying to solve these crimes rather than these minor traffic accidents.
Yes, ma'am, I totally agree with that. We don't investigate accidents, vehicle accidents, in the county. So now we will respond if there's a traffic situation where we need someone there to take care of traffic until Florida Highway Patrol can respond. But we don't investigate traffic accidents. So, and if it's not as serious in nature, then we probably just have the cars pull off to the side, and then you would wait for Florida Highway Patrol to show up to work the case.
Since 1976, Daniel L. Hightower, a lawyer, has been fighting for accident victim justice in North Central Florida and statewide. He believes everyone in America should follow the rules, including the insurance companies. He and his firm have experience fighting for victims of personal injury, wrongful death, workers' compensation, and Social Security disability, as well as serving those in need of help with bankruptcy, simple wills, and estate plans. The mission at the law offices of Daniel L. Hightower, PA, is to represent deserving clients and recover the maximum benefits they are entitled to by law in a timely manner. In personal injury and workers' compensation cases, there are no fees or costs unless a recovery is made. The law office of Daniel L. Hightower is located at 7 East Silver Springs Boulevard, Suite 300. For your free consultation, call 352-629-7777 or 1-888-LAW-1976 and visit danhightower.com for more information. Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice, and the proud sponsor of Ask the Cops.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA, The Source.
WOCA, Ocala.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to James A. Cusimano, an entertainer, a scientist, a corporate executive, an entrepreneur, an inspirational speaker, and an author. He's written a book called Balance, the Business-Life Connection, a step-by-step method for identifying and recapturing one's essence.
Open for debate where you get to choose the topic.
And then Jim George will be on. He's the owner of American Cable Services. He'll be answering all of our questions about electronics.
Gail Trotter is an attorney and a senior fellow with the Independent Women's Forum. She will be speaking about the testimony of IRS Director Lois Lerner.
And then Ocala Magazine Radio with your host John Sotomayor, the executive editor of Ocala Magazine.
Dr. E.Z. Friedel is a surgeon and a novelist. He's written a book called Marilyn's Red Diary. It's a novel based on new information on what might have really happened to Marilyn Monroe.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
If you want to avoid getting ripped off and put more money in your pocket, then join me, Clark Howard, every weeknight at 6 right here on WOCA, The Source.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're ocalaforsale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to ocalaforsale.com. License and inventory change daily. Offered at an included dealer charge. Undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Hello? Can you hear me? Because if you can, then so can your customers. Radio works. Call today to advertise your business right here on WOCA 1370, The Source.
WOCA, keeping you in touch with Ocala.
Hi, Buddy Martin here. I'll be along next. Stay tuned right after Laurie and Tom on the Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA. Don't touch that dial.
Wow, JJ pulling out all the stops on the Voice of Ocala today. It's time to talk summer movies. And JJ's got Hooray for Hollywood playing in the background. we had our annual Voice of Ocala meeting last night, and JJ said...
It does seem annual, by the way. It needs to be more than that.
It's annual. JJ said that he needs to start doing more from the standpoint of playing stuff off the internet. And JJ, by the way, check with Dan, because I just downloaded from my hard drive my music. You got 27,000 new songs you can play from the computer.
Maybe you can find me a little like 60 minutes-ish sort of for the Mommy Minute. That would be cool.
Out of 27,000, there's probably...
You'd think there would be a clock ticking.
No, 27,000 songs I put on the computer. From my, a DJ and everything. So,
I've heard.
Let's talk about the summer movies coming up.
Yes. There's some good ones coming, by the way. It's starting. We're in. Can you feel it? The rumble, the blitz is here.
I'm looking
summer
forward
movie
to tomorrow.
Blitz. Oh, because you're going to see Hangover 3?
No.
Oh, because you see Star Trek, which is good, by the way.
I really want to see After Earth.
Is that the one with all the
Will
comedians?
Smith? No. After Earth is Will Smith and his son, which I
Am Legend, basically.
Basically, that's what Gary said. He's like, what do I want to go see that again for?
I didn't see I Am Legend.
Yeah, okay, well, a lot of people did. and they think it's a redo.
Really?
They got his son in it now. That's the only difference, I guess.
Yeah.
There's so many Into the World movies.
I don't have kids. Don't really like kids
I
of
like
my
Will
own,
Smith,
but
though.
wants to go see a father-son movie. What is that?
Smith.
Is that a father-son movie?
Well, yeah, because
I like Will Smith too, but I'd like to see him do something different.
Well,
because I Am Legend, and also then there was the homeless guy movie. What was it? I forget now. Where he and his son were also in that. I mean, you know,
where he was dressed
I
in
love
a
Will
suit
Smith.
and tie living in the car.
Yeah, the real life story.
I've started to hate Will Smith movies.
Well, maybe that's okay.
And
I
then-
wouldn't say hate, but I wouldn't say love either.
No, he just cranks them out and makes millions and millions of dollars.
And it's a formula. He and his agent made a
Right.
conscious decision. They would only choose films that were either sci-fi based, had some sort of technological
Action.
advance, or were action movies.
Well, I want to see that movie, and then June 28th.
Don't tell
Just
me.
because it looks
I'm going to
funny?
guess. I'll tell you what it is because I know you so well.
Just because it looks funny.
Okay, you want to see The Heat?
No.
White House Down.
White
That's
House
what I
Down.
want to see.
White
White House
House
Down. With I'm gonna Channing my Tatum.
Yeah, it's Channing Tatum
Yeah.
and Jamie Foxx.
Yes.
Jamie Foxx plays the president of
Yes,
the United
and
States.
it looks
It's a
very
comedy?
funny. It's probably a thriller comedy.
It's an action drama
Yeah.
comedy.
Yeah, but
It's
with
a
the two of
dramedy.
them, it's going to be hysterical.
But
White
Jamie-
House Down.
White House Down.
Jamie Foxx plays the president. Channing Tatum plays a Secret Service agent who has to
Who's
save
guarding.
has to save the president
perfect.
as the White House is being attacked and Washington's being attacked, and the two of them go medieval on people. Jamie Foxx.
Probably not for the kids.
No,
this
it's
is
not
a
for the
grown-up
children.
movie, but it looks very funny and one of the funniest adult comedic pairings I've seen ever on late night talk show television was after the Oscars on Jimmy Kimmel with Channing Tatum and Jamie Foxx. Was
yes.
hilarious.
It was hilarious.
Very funny for the moms and dads out there.
So speaking of the children,
hmm that's an issue I have.
June
with the kids.
14th.
Yeah, what? There's only one kids movie all summer
Yeah, but-
for little kids.
But yeah, for little kids.
Yeah,
But I think
which is a
Man-
crime
I think
and a complete
Man of
missed
Steel
opportunity.
Could be a movie for the older kids.
Yeah, but like 13 and up.
You think it is
I'm
PG-13
more
movie.
conservative
Yeah, I
on this
know.
and I always look at commonsensemedia.org, which is a great site, by the way, moms out there. If you really want to do a quick check on what commonsensemedia.org, it will tell you sort of a quick thumbnail sketch of what a film is about, what some of the concerns might be, parental concerns. And it'll give you a great rating of movies that are out, and even movies that are on DVD. So I always use that as a quick check.
How do you find these websites?
Little search engine called Google. Maybe you've heard of it. I don't know. It's kind of new.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. So you just
Now
I
in
found
theaters. See
it. Yeah.
right here.
So it's great because it'll give you a rating from parents about what the movies are about, and also if there are some concerns, whether it's language or violence, that what some parents have to say about it.
Like Epic is an animated adventure, amuses but doesn't live up to its title.
Right.
It's for age 6 and above. This site
Right.
saying.
And see how quick it tells you
Right.
immediately. Age 6.
Fast and Furious 6,
age
14 and above.
Correct.
We Steal Secrets 15 above. The
Right.
story of WikiLeaks.
Right. So it's a good. See the Hangover 3,
Erased
17
is on
and
there.
above.
Right. Erased is on there. Fame High.
Here's one of my peeves. I go to Disney World, and I love Disney. It's fun, and it's great that it's so close for us, and we have annual passes and all that. But
Watch what you say about Disney. Calm down now.
it's very important that you use your own discretion when you look at what they recommend for rides, because heights don't always indicate the best guide for what would be appropriate for, say, a 5-year-old. So, I just think that whenever anything in the world gives you an advice, it advises you as a parent as to what's age appropriate, you still need to kind of do a little bit of due diligence on your own and check it out. That's all. I love Disney. I'm not going to slam.
I'm a big Disney fan.
You think I'm going to hate on Disney?
So, do you have any desire to see The Internship?
Totally. Vince
Yeah.
Vaughn and Owen Wilson, come on. They're adult interns at Google. How funny is that?
So it's going to be Wedding Crashers at Google's.
Well,
At Google.
Wedding Trashers was hysterical. I watched it like 3 times.
Yeah, but did you just say that Will Smith is doing the same movie over and over?
Yeah, but I'm
Those
not
two
a
do the
huge
exact same movie.
I'm not a huge sci-fi fan. So if I were, but I love comedy. So for me, do the Wedding Crashers 19 times. I don't care. I'll go see every one of them. But I'm not, sci-fi. It has to be something like I saw Star Trek, the new Star Trek. I enjoyed it because it's a classic.
You would go see Beverly Hills Cop 43 then?
Probably if Eddie Murphy was in it. I might.
Right, of course. Eddie Murphy had to be in it.
I just have curiosity.
Because Beverly Hills was great. Beverly Hills Cop 2 was okay.
Trading
Beverly
Places,
Hills Cop
48
3
hours.
was terrible.
48 hours. Trading Places.
But the same style movie.
But those are the same. Eddie Murphy was not just Beverly Hills Cop. Trading Places.
But Trading Places was not like Beverly Hills Cop.
But it was the same kind of humor to me.
Okay.
Eddie Murphy is such a unique brand of comedy.
What he is now is washed up because he's not making any movies worth
Well,
a flip.
he sort of shot himself in the foot with the whole Oscars thing, but that we won't go into that.
Yeah.
But anyway, but yes, I would see The Internship, and that's on one of my favorites to see. I want to see The Heat, and I want to see White House Down. But coming out now next week, June 7th, is The Internship. That's the big one that's coming out.
Right.
And then there's a thriller, for those who like thrillers, The Purge, with Ethan Hawke. Crime sci-fi thriller.
Right.
So there would be some folks that might like that.
But, okay, that's movies you and I might want to see.
I won't go see The Purge.
But you've
unless
taken,
to review it.
The
But I
movies
wouldn't.
you've talked about.
Right.
But you got a little issue with the summer movies this year. Summer, kids are out of school. Parents need movies to go to.
There's
take the kids
There's
to.
nothing. I mean,
what's out there this
the
summer?
Marion Theater is your best bet because for the $5 you go 10:30 in the morning and you get like popcorn, a movie, and a drink or something. Go for water, by the way. Don't get them soda. Just my 2 cents on that. But so you can see, I think Wreck-It Ralph. I think Brave. I mean, there's some decent.
Right.
If your kids haven't seen those already,
But those were last year's.
That's
movies.
the thing.
What
My
has
child has
Hollywood
already
done
seen
this summer?
Nothing. There's Monsters University. That's all you got for little kids.
What about Penguins 3D?
Penguins 3D is this. It's a redo. It's not new. It's just in 3D now.
Oh, I see.
We got nothing. It's a vast wasteland. Hollywood, you need to fix that because that is money you are missing.
Now, why is that? I would think that every summer Hollywood should put out at least 3 or 4 movies geared for the
littles,
12 and under.
For like 6 to 4 or 4 to 8 would be a no-brainer because the thing is that if you're a parent, you might have a 10 to 12-year-old that will sort of eye-rollingly come along, but will actually probably enjoy it, but won't want to tell their friends that they enjoyed it. Like Rise of the Guardians was actually really cute, and it bridged that gap between the sort of pre-tweeners
Chicken Little
and the preschoolers.
Chicken Little, I remember vividly when I went and saw Chicken Little, there were 6 and unders with their parents in there, and there were 10, 11, 12-year-olds
Right.
that they were in there, like you could tell they were disgusted to be in there, but by the end of the movie, everybody was laughing and having a great time.
By the way, Buddy Martin just texted me $2 at the Marion for that.
Not $5,
deal. Yeah,
$2,
$2,
yeah.
which is
That's even better.
So you can bring 2.5 kids for $5.
Right. There you go. So,
but Chicken Little was like 2-3 years ago. It wasn't last year.
Well, no, it wasn't last year, but I remember vividly when I went and saw it.
Mm-hmm.
I was confirming what you had said.
Right.
The 12-year-old acts like he doesn't want to go. That he's too cool to
but
go.
But he actually laughs.
But he
and
actually
has
laughs
a good time.
and has a good time.
Right. So we've got Monsters University. That's it. Which is sort of it's a
It's
sequel.
a redo of Monster Inc.
It's a redo. You have nothing fresh. I mean, you're telling me like Secret Life of Arrietty, such a great film. Japanese anime type film. Amy Poehler and Will Arnett were the voices, and it was a beautiful film. And it was about these little mice. So it made it, the scale was small for little kids. They could really relate to it. And I had to drive to Gainesville to see it. It didn't show locally, and it was one of the few films that was out last year that was appropriate for littles. It's just really challenging to find something you can bring the little kids to. So that's my beef for Hollywood. But yes, we've got some good stuff coming out, and of course June 12th. We can talk about this next week. But this is the end for the grown-ups. That looks
That's
hysterical.
what I want to see. That's with all the comedians, right?
That's with Seth Rogen, James Franco, Jonah Hill, Danny McBride. 6 friends trapped in a house after multiple disasters in Los Angeles. Comedy ensues. Looks very fun.
It's going to be anything Seth Rogen's in.
Oh, all those guys.
I'm in.
I mean, Danny McBride's really funny.
Danny McBride's hilarious.
Yes.
The kid.
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill's.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Cera's in it, I think. So.
I think so too. Yeah.
You know the only problem with Jonah Hill now?
He's skinny.
Every time.
No, he's not anymore.
He's not anymore. He's gained weight
gained
again.
back.
See, because he knew skinny's not funny.
Here's the thing.
That's not true.
It is true.
Here's what I see with Jonah Hill now. Every time I'll see Jonah Hill in a movie, the first thing I'll think of is, who cut the holes in his mask?
I know. Right? Best cameo of the year.
That was the best. If they had an Academy Award for
the cameo,
I forgot he was even in that movie.
Django Unchained. Oh, it was great.
Best cameo of the year.
When he showed up in that movie with the mask, who cut the holes in these masks? It was the greatest cameo that I've seen in a long time.
Anybody watching Arrested Development on Netflix?
No, but it is a new program to Arrested Development.
I heard it stinks now.
Well, that's what all the critics are saying.
Yeah.
But I've watched the first 4 episodes so far, and the format is very different because they have
like single character episodes.
Right, they're doing single character episodes.
That's
and
what was so great about the show is they didn't do
the
that.
interaction.
Yeah.
But supposedly that changes after the first few episodes because they couldn't. Everyone's schedule, all these people are now big famous actors, so they couldn't get everybody together at the same time. So this was sort of their way around it.
Did they just release them all at once, the whole season?
They did.
That's
Netflix.
cool.
It's very cool. Yeah. So you can watch. Which House of Cards with Kevin Spacey, same deal, also very good.
How scary is that to network television?
Oh man!
Oh, they're flipping out. They're shaking
like
in their
Netflix
shoes.
Hulu Plus.
Because now they're going to get in the TV business.
And I just got a smart TV, and it's all right there, honey.
Right. With new original programming.
Yeah.
So what's NBC, CBS, NBC, ABC, Fox, they have to be shaking.
That's why they're all paying big bucks for the sporting events, because it's one of the few things that people actually watch live, so they don't DVR out the commercials. They can get a higher commercial dollar. And B, it gives them, some kind of niche that secures revenue and original programming.
Big boy here.
Mm-hmm.
That live sports thing doesn't work with me either. I just go and
I wait an hour.
I start recording it and watch something for an hour, and then I go watch it.
But we're the exception. Ratings show that most people will watch it live. So and we're doing Roku 3 now. We've got the little box, with 750 points of programming right there. So
see, and I have Dish, and I'm paying outrageous amount of money.
You need to get rid of that.
JJ's paying outrageous amounts of money for DirecTV.
Yeah, you need to get rid of it.
You know why we can't get rid of them?
Because you have a contract.
No.
Well, that's one reason.
DirecTV is the best thing there is.
The reason we can't get rid of our satellites...
Because of your sports addiction.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, got it.
Because of sports, we have to have it.
Right.
We have to have it.
Aren't we, way over on time here?
Yeah, so we're going to take a break. No, we're only about a minute and a half over.
Oh, okay.
We're going to take a break. When we come back...
Mommy Minute. Got some goodies.
Plus, we're going to talk about greens.
I'm going to tell you.
I love mustard
I'm going to tell
greens,
you
collard greens, turnip greens.
Which kid's vitamin is toxic, and a lot of people are taking it.
Oh, wow. So that's something to listen up for. In the Mommy Minute, next on the Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com, The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin for WinStar Medical Research. Every day we hear another story about innovation or about the cutting edge of technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. But did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that will impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name WinStar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize WinStar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at WinStar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people are right now. WinStar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend an opportunity to you to be a part of these. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. WinStar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. WinStar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and a coffee pot is always on. Call your good neighbor's State Farm agent today, Angie Lewis, at 294-2444.
Ocala Radio, WOCA.
You know what a photobomb is, right? It's when you take a photo of someone and someone else suddenly thrusts themselves into the photo. It's supposed to be funny and ruin the picture, but sometimes it actually makes a better photo, a better end result. Well, that's what happened to me at Kenny's Place Nursery. Well, sort of. I was looking at some flowers when these caladiums caught my eye. It was like being photobombed by a plant. Well, it worked. The caladiums from Kenny's Place Nursery now sit beautifully in my garden with my floral plants. And if the wind is blowing just right, you might find yourself taking a photo of a rose and get photobombed by one of those caladiums. Kenny's Place has caladiums in a variety of colors, and the 1 gallon size is only $3.50. Kenny's Place Nursery is located at 7677 Southeast 41st Court in Ocala. Give them a call at 867-1213. Kenny's Place Nursery, where the plants, the people, and the mission are all beautiful.
Phoenix Promotional Solutions, your company supplier of banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Where you give them approved artwork by noon, the next day by 4 p.m., you pick up your banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404. That's 368-2404. Don't forget, they do vehicle wraps also. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404.
Hi, I'm Russ with Climate Control Mechanical Services, and I want to invite you to tune in every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. to listen for tips and answers to the many questions you may have about your air conditioning and heating for your home or business. The Climate Control Show, every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. right here on WOCA, 1370 a.m. and 96.3 FM, The Source.
This is Don with ABC Fredericks Appliance. Here's my daughter, Lena.
And hey, everybody, it's Lena. You need to come down to ABC Fredericks Appliance on County Road 25, just over the railroad tracks in Bellevue, where you are treated right with the right products, like Whirlpool, Maytag, Crosley, and Speed Queen. These are the new ones. Don't forget, we also carry used appliances that we warranty. ABC Fredericks Appliance does repairs, too. Call us at 629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance on County Road 25, just over the railroad tracks in Bellevue. It's at 629-5181.
Hi, Buddy Martin here. I'll be along next. Stay tuned right after Laurie and Tom on the Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA. Don't touch that dial.
I can use a little help unloading these bales. I can keep you pretty busy with a hammer and a nail. Ain't a glamorous life, but it'll keep you out of jail.
Back on the Voice of Ocala. First hour with Lori Gregory. Talking healthy living and Mommy Minute. But before I get to that, I want to remind you in the second hour, Buddy Martin joins us in Defense of Dads Part 2, and Heather James will be here with Celebrations in a Box. And I bet Buddy will have some information on this story that I'm reading on ocala.com, that the College of Central Florida president announces layoffs. So we'll find out what that's all about. But right now it's time for the newest segment on the Voice of Ocala, Lloyd Martin Gregory with Mommy Minute.
Oh, that's my tick?
I mean,
really? I sound like I'm going to blow up the building.
We can find a better one.
Yeah, that's like, I'm going to fall asleep to that one.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, we need like the 60 minutes tick, Okay, we'll work on that.
Stopwatch tick.
All right, if you think you're giving your little one a health boost by giving him or her a chewable vitamin, guess again.
What do you mean, like the Flintstones chewables? Come on.
Flintstones for Kids, a top 10 best-selling vitamin produced by the global pharmaceutical corporation Bayer, features a shocking list of unhealthy ingredients, including aspartame. Aspartame,
really?
Absolutely. Why is it dangerous, you say? Well,
it only causes cancer.
That's right. It causes cancer.
It only causes cancer.
And it's an artificial sweetener that's been linked to over 40 adverse health effects, including toxicity to the nervous system. My suggestion, what I like, I'm not paid to say this, NutriStars by Rainbow Light. It has only 5 milligrams of soy-based lecithin. That's really important, and I'll tell you why in a second. It's the only well-rounded, healthy kids chewable with astragalus root. Astragalus is a wonderful herb for strengthening the immune system. And where I get mine is on a website called Vitacost.com. Why? Because it's cheaper. You can often get 30 to 40% off. They actually have a special right now until tomorrow where you can get an extra 15% off their already low prices if you use the code S as in Sam 59 595 BQUT. You don't have to worry about remembering that. Just go to my Facebook page, Lori Martin Gregory, and it's posted right there. So, Flintstones chewable for kids, throw them in the trash. They're not of any use to anybody, and they actually could be harming your child's immune system. Speaking of soy, is it good for you? You know, a lot of people eat tofu. A lot of people eat edamame, which is a natural whole form of soy. I'm talking about processed soybean oil, which, by the way, is in everything.
See, you told me that, because I was big. I used to love taking Worcestershire sauce or soy sauce and mixing it while I grilled in a pan.
And now you just use Bragg's, which is great.
Right.
Okay.
So I don't use tofu anymore.
Right. So soy is really dangerous. What's the short answer? No, soy is not good for you. Why? Because it mimics estrogen in the body. This can interfere hormonally in both men and women. Unfortunately, it's in everything, including salad dressings and mayonnaise. You got to read your labels. The food industry uses it as an emulsifier. That means it makes things smooth. Get it out of your diet, especially if you have a history in your family of breast or prostate cancer. There is a such thing as estrogen-derived breast cancer, and it often is coming from the soy that you're getting in your food. So be very careful about that. Wondering what all that hubbub was about last weekend regarding Monsanto. You may have seen people on the square here in Ocala. It was actually all over the world, picketing, having a protest, wearing their red T-shirts. Well, the world's largest supplier of GMO seeds, yes, that stands for genetically modified organisms, is under fire big time. The company has manufactured altered seeds that many experts say are disrupting the food chain, causing everything from the decline of honeybees to human health problems. Food and natural health advocates are demanding the labeling of genetically modified foods so that we as consumers have a choice. A lot of countries around the world, there are 30 other countries actually in Europe and abroad that have made GMO labeling requirement, and hopefully our government will do the same. It's definitely in our best interest as consumers to be able to have a choice. So those are your 3 stories for this week on the Mommy Minute. I'm Lori Martin Gregory.
Oh, see, we got this, but they say 60 minutes on it.
Oh, well, we can't have that.
I know.
Yeah. Well,
no.
That was the Mommy 4.5 minute.
Well, maybe I should call it the Mommy 5 minutes.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
So
you got 3.5 bonus minutes
you did
for
well.
your money.
You did
there
well.
You go.
So let's talk about greens, because I love collard greens, mustard greens, turnip greens, spinach, cabbage, broccoli. It's all green.
It's all green. It's all good.
I love all of it. Green beans.
Yes.
Do early peas count?
They count. They have a little bit more starch to them, but they're green. Anything green is going to be beneficial.
I love asparagus.
Right.
What other green thing that...
Well, did you know you can actually eat the broccoli leaves off the broccoli plant?
Yes, you can. I knew that.
Not just the stems.
Yeah, I knew that.
Not just the flowering part.
So why are greens so good for you?
Well, they're really great for your health because they're high in antioxidants. They have a lot of chlorophyll, and they feed your body on a cellular level in a way that really helps the cells stay plugged into their DNA so they know what they're supposed to do. Greens are exceptionally beneficial. It's actually, you get even more from your greens if you'll put an essential fatty acid, which is nothing more than a fancy term for olive oil or flaxseed oil or some sort of healthy oil of your choice. Don't use a genetically modified oil like canola or soybean oil or anything like that. An organic glass bottle EVOO, extra virgin olive oil is the best. You don't want to get plastic because it will leach. Oils will break down the plastic, and then it gets into your oil.
I prefer Pompeii, but that's not organic. But
right.
Pompeii EVOO is.
There you go.
I mean, it's
as long as it's in a glass
bottle.
That's yeah, right. So but drizzle some of that yummy oil on your greens after you cook them. Don't cook them in the oil because if it's an oil like olive that has a relatively low flash point, you will actually turn the oil rancid, and it becomes a transgenic fatty acid instead of a good fatty acid. So cook it in water and then drizzle the oil on top. You can also use ghee. Ghee is awesome. It's a clarified butter. You can buy it locally. You can get it online. And it will actually help tonify the liver and the gallbladder. So, but you got to have an essential fatty acid when you eat your greens. That's actually where where salad dressing started. Did you know that?
Yes, I did know that.
That was because I told you.
You
right?
did.
Okay. So, but that was the idea initially, that you would put, oil on your greens, on your salad, and that would help you absorb the nutrients. And we've sort of morphed that into creamy French, ranch soybean nightmare salad dressing. But
what do you use on your salad greens?
Well, right now I change it, and that's the other important thing. Is you really got to rotate. You should rotate your diet seasonally, but you should also rotate your greens because your body will develop a tolerance to it. Mm-hmm. So it's good to expand your palate and maybe eat things that you don't normally like, but get used to sort of switching it up every 90 days.
Does zucchini count as green?
It does count as a green. It's, again, more starchy. It's got more starch content. It's not a leafy green. A leafy green would be more specifically what I'm talking about. But currently my salad dressing of choice is something from the rawtarian.com, which is her ranch dressing, which is very easy to make. If you have a Vitamix, it's cashews, it's olive oil, it's onion powder, basil, I think a little bit of salt. It's delish.
See, and I just like EVOO and red wine vinegar.
Be careful with your red wine vinegar.
I know. You got to go light with it.
Well, distilled white would be a better, or actually raw apple cider, especially if you're doing a cleanse or you have any chronic health issues you're trying to clean up. Because red wine vinegar, balsamic vinegar, those are vinegars that will actually feed the bacteria in your gut.
Yes, I know.
And it turns to sugar, so you have to be careful. But yeah, even, a great salad dressing, if you're doing a systemic cleanse, is just olive oil and lemon juice with a lot of fresh ground Himalayan sea salt.
I bet that is pretty good.
It's really good. You got to use, get your Himalayan salt in there. You can put pepper, you can put garlic, and just whisk it up so that the lemon juice and the olive oil sort of mix together. It's very delicious. It's very fresh and it's very light. Sometimes that with just some greens is enough.
You said earlier that not only we need to eat our greens, but rotate. What do you mean by rotate greens?
So you want to rotate your diet in general. It's very easy to get into a food rut. It's very easy to get into a rut in general. You just want to think about your life as never staying the same. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. You're not a piece of furniture. You're more like a plant. You're growing and changing all the time, or you're stagnating. And it's really the choices that you make determine what your experience is going to be. So just think about your life as always changing, always growing, always evolving. And give yourself the opportunity to look at your diet, be conscious about what you eat. If you need to, keep a food journal for a week or two or a month. Give yourself a chance to see what your food patterns are, and then make a choice to change it up. Rotate with the seasons. You're not really supposed to eat a lot of fresh fruit. You don't eat watermelon in December. But we raise food year-round now because farmers have figured out that they can make money by selling a variety of foods year-round. But we're not really supposed to eat those kinds of foods in the winter. In the winter is when things like, in October, November, you can grow kale, you can grow spinach, you can grow root vegetables, carrots and turnips and parsnips, and that's when you're supposed to be eating those kinds of foods. If you follow nature and you rotate your diet with what nature is producing during that time, then you'll be much better off.
Lori Martin Gregory with her Healthy Living segment. And the Mommy Minute. And some pop culture as well. When we come back, we'll wrap up the first hour. In the second hour, Buddy Martin joins the soiree. He's going to defend the Dads Part 2. Defending Dad Part 2. Heather James, Celebration in a Box. Stick around for that. I'm really excited to find out what Celebration in a Box is. And then in the sports hour, Mark Long calls in from the SEC meetings in Destin. And Franz Beard will make 2 days in a row on the show. Appearance 2 days in a row. And then Mr. Golf and JJ's Corner Kick. And Buddy's got something about the Ohio State president and something he said about Catholics. As a Catholic, JJ and I both want to hear what this is about. We'll do all that coming up on the Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. I want to tell you about a conversation I had recently with General Manager Pat Murray on the great family atmosphere at Country Club of Ocala.
It's a family first club. Again, we We have any number of different types of memberships, but obviously the one that attracts the greatest level of interest is our family. And the reason for that is we have a little something for everybody. I mean, we obviously have a world-class golf course. We have 7 tennis courts here for all levels of tennis players. We have a junior Olympic-sized swimming pool. We have a fitness center that's second to none, and we have state-of-the-art equipment in our fitness center.
Country Club of Ocala, where the facilities are all a family would ever need. For more information, call today at 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of Monday's Gator Report and Gator Talk Thursday right here on The Source. Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Couples who are more materialistic have less stable relationships and report lower levels of marital satisfaction. People bashing each other and making comments they would never say to somebody's face. What makes people so rude online? First is the fact that sometimes we're anonymous. Volunteers who exercised for half an hour at night fell asleep significantly faster and slept more deeply than those who didn't exercise.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Hello all, Joe Martone here for Karaoke Time. You hear me each morning for the segment of Fun with Joe? Well, fun is what I do. So the next time you want to have a get-together, for just about any reason, give me a call. 470-0276 for Karaoke Time. That number is 470-0276. Everybody likes to sing, and with the words on the screen, it's just that much easier. Call Karaoke Time, 470-0276 for the next event, big or small. Karaoke Time can keep the fun in your business, too.
Stay informed on everything going on in the villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Legally Yours, brought to you by Fuller & Fuller Attorneys at Law. On the air every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. with John Fuller, a board-certified civil trial lawyer for over 25 years. John welcomes your questions, from business to complex family matters to legal disputes. So tune in every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. for Legally Yours with John Fuller, right here on WOCA 1370 a.m. and 96.3 FM, The Source.
Hi, Buddy Martin here. I'll be along next. Stay tuned right after Laurie and Tom on the Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA. Don't touch that dial.
What the world is searching for. Here, right here, my dear. I don't have to look no more.
Voice of Ocala. I'm your host, Tom Schmitz, along with J.J. LaSelva. Buddy Martin joining us in Hour 2. In Hour 2, Buddy's going to pick up where he left off yesterday, the Defense of Dads, Part 2. Yesterday we had Frederick Goodall on here on the show yesterday, talking about the 7 traits of a real man. And Buddy asked Frederick, is he for the defense of dads? And Frederick Goodall was 100% in agreement that dads are getting a bad rap nowadays, especially on TV and movies. They're all, they always are these bumbling, dumb guys and everything, and dads just aren't that way. JJ,
Not my dad.
Your dad is top notch.
Well, let's not go that far. No, my dad is awesome.
Yeah.
And I might screw up a lot, but it's not because of the way that my parents raised
I
me.
miss my father. My father has been passed away now. It's coming up on 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it'll be 30 years next Easter. It'll be 30 years. And I miss my dad daily. And my dad, part of the reason, I would say most of the reason I'm the person that I am now, my dad had almost everything to do with that, because my dad was a very straightforward guy. He told you how he felt. If you didn't like it, that was a you problem, not a him problem. And he was a very good car mechanic, very well respected in the community of Jacksonville, where I was born and raised. And he taught me things. He taught me respect, how to respect your, adults, how to respect people. And I remember vividly one time, everybody gets to that age when they're a teenager that they want to try their dad, especially boys, where you want to try your dad. So I was 13 years old, and my dad said something to me, and I said something back to him, and he grabbed me by the arm, and I punched him right in the mouth. And I was 13. I was like 5'9", 5'8", 5'9", 155, 160 pounds. Taller than my dad, and he only had me by about 10 pounds in weight. I punched him right in the mouth, and it busted his lip. And he just smiled at me and touched his lip, looked down at the blood on his finger, and then just punched me. I went through the screen door, the wooden screen door we had on the front of the house, through that and off the front porch. And I'm laying out in the yard crying and everything. My dad comes out, and I think, oh, he's fixing to kill me. And he reaches down, and I'm all cowering and everything. He reaches down, and he pulls me up. He kisses me on the forehead and says, son, let's never teach this lesson again. My dad's been gone almost 30 years now. I don't think bad or want to hit my dad or anything, because I'm afraid the skies of heaven may open up and he may backhand me just to say, hey, remember that lesson. So that's just one of those things that it's one of those lessons every boy learns, and it's something that stuck with me about my dad. And somebody says, well, your dad was a disciplinary. No, my mom did all the discipline in the house. My dad only whipped me one time that I know of. My dad didn't have to whip me. My dad could give you that look like he was disappointed in you, and it would just make you do the right thing. My dad was a very, very, very gracious man, and his favorite holiday was Easter. It's kind of sad that he was killed on that same weekend, but that was his favorite holiday. So Buddy's going to take up the defense of dads, and I miss my dad daily. And JJ, you should be glad and very happy that your father's still with you, and he stayed with you a long, long time.
84, so he doesn't got a lot left. So try to spend as much time with him as possible.
John Sr.'s not 84. John Sr.'s what, 55, 54,
yeah,
55?
He's about that.
Yeah, somewhere you don't even know, do you?
I think it's 56.
Yeah, okay. Coming up in the second hour, Buddy's going to pick up this conversation about the defense of dads. Plus, Heather James joins us with Celebration in a Box. And Buddy's going to bring us up to speed on the College of Central Florida announcing some layoffs. All that on the second hour. The Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
She grew up in an Indiana town, had a good-looking mom who never was around, but she grew up tall and she grew up right with them Indiana boys on an Indiana night.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase across the fixed rate allowance.
Mayday! Mayday! Our buyer blew it. He ordered 38 cars instead of 8. And now we have got way too much inventory.
Hey, this is Chris Spears from Prestige Auto Sales. I've got to sell these 30 cars extra fast. I'm going spastic, so I've got to do something drastic.
Qualified buyers with $5 down can drive a nicer, newer car today. Who knew $5 could get you a nicer, newer car?
Well, it can, because I'm in a jam.
Is bad credit causing you distress? My For the People credit approval process just may save the day. Get approved for a nicer, newer car you'll love. Mayday! Mayday! Get down to Prestige Auto Sales right away. The Mayday Madness ends after we've cleared 37 cars.
My name is Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit Prestige Auto Sales or call 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
Hi, this is Lisa Midget, owner of Kinetic Motion Fitness here in Ocala, Florida. A lot of you have experienced our great classes in personal small group training, but did you know we now offer dynamic workouts on DVD? These high-quality, locally produced, effective DVD workouts can go where you go. Going on vacation? No problem. We can go with you. Friends and relatives out of town who are jealous that you get to come to KMF? No problem. We ship anywhere in the United States for free. Our great lineup of 4 DVDs includes Kinetic Achieve, Kinetic Couples, Kinetic Core, and Kinetic Campus. 4 great workouts for the entire family on DVD. Sound interesting? Check them out on our website at kmfocala.com. While you're there, check out our class schedule and come see us. We're only 5 minutes from downtown across from the Skylark Plaza. Visit kmfocala.com and like us on Facebook. KMF will get you results at our studio or at home with one of our DVDs. Kinetic Motion Fitness. We're ready when you are. Visit kmfocala.com for more information.
If you need a sign or a banner for your yard or your business or your campaign, I'd recommend you go to Signs Unlimited at 318 South Magnolia in Ocala. Screen printing, embroidery, digital graphics. Do what I did when we needed signs for the Save the Marion Theater Group. Go see Vic Buttermore at Signs Unlimited if you want quality work with a fast turnaround from somebody who is deeply committed to his community and always ready to assist you. There's a reason Vic's slogan is, it's our business to make your business better. Sign up for Signs Unlimited. Call 732-7341 today.
Don't get caught in the dark. Call Tri-County Generators, LLC first at 1-800-622-1957, your authorized Generac dealer. Tri-County Generators are there when you need them with new generators for home standby, commercial, RV, and portable generators. They also service your existing systems. Now is the time to act. Be prepared before you have an emergency. Call Mike Gant today at 1-800-622-1957. That's 1-800-622-1957 for Tri-County Generators.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Our tractor services include bush hog, disking, front end loader, box blade, and stump grinding. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are licensed and insured. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440, or online at powellgene, Gene, at yahoo.com. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing.
Habitat for Humanity of Marion County is a ministry dedicated to improving lives by providing affordable and decent housing. Help them help others by visiting the Habitat for Humanity Ocala home store on Northwest 27th Avenue. To schedule a donation, give them a call and they'll come and pick it up. For more information, visit habitatocala.org. Habitat for Humanity of Marion County, building homes, building hope, building community.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Couples who are more materialistic have less stable relationships and report lower levels of marital satisfaction. People bashing each other and making comments they would never say to somebody's face. What makes people so rude online? First is the fact that sometimes we're anonymous. Volunteers who exercised for half an hour at night fell asleep significantly faster and slept more deeply than those who didn't exercise.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
1370 WOCA.
You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
1 hour. The words from a Moore police officer to people in Moore, Oklahoma, where once again there are threats of severe weather. And it's not just there. The National Weather Service has issued tornado watches from Minnesota down to Oklahoma. Police and the FBI trying to track down the origin of 3 letters containing ricin that were directed to New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg, a gun control lobby, and the White House. All 3 letters are postmarked Shreveport, Louisiana. If you've been waiting to sell your home, well, this may be the time. The number of Americans signing contracts in April reached a 3-year high, pushing home sales higher. And a woman out for a jog north L.A., attacked and killed by 4 pit bulls. Now, the 29-year-old owner has been charged with murder. If convicted, could get life. And students usually make excuses. But this time, a teacher is in hot water. Florida first-grade teacher allegedly faked she was dying in order to skip school. The Dow is up 58 points. This is ABC News.
Today we're asking people to name their one favorite meal for one from Stouffer's.
One favorite? Stouffer's lasagna. But how about the barbecue chicken?
Grilled white meat chicken coated with a sweet and tangy sauce with a side of cheesy potatoes topped with crisp bacon.
Yes.
So that's your one Stouffer's favorite.
Oh, but I also like Stouffer's meatloaf.
Classic meatloaf with a rich tomato glaze, smothered in a savory gravy with a tasty side of... Hey, where are you going?
You kidding? The store.
Stock up on all your favorite Stouffer's meals for one today.
Deer season's ending soon, and so are these great deals. Get 0% financing right now on select new John Deere compact tractors, utility tractors, and hay tools. Hurry in before these incredible deer season deals disappear. Offer ends July 31st, 2013, subject to approved credit on John Deere financial installment plans. Some restrictions apply. See your participating dealer for details.
Visit Fields Equipment in Winter Haven, Claremont, or Zolfo Springs, or on the web at fieldsequip.com. For more info, visit myjohndeeredealer.com.
I'm just sick of all the amateur stuff, you know? I mean, like, if I'm paying top dollar, I want a little production value, you know? Like some editing, transition, something, some music.
Don't worry, we didn't leave you.
He's gone? He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Our bosses say we gotta stay.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei. It's time for the second hour of The Voice of Ocala.
Hoo-ah! You ever come across anything like time travel?
Come on, stick around. It's free.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win.
Hello, welcome to Hour 2 of the program called The Voice of Ocala. Buddy Martin here. Glad to be joining you here on a Thursday. Is it Thursday?
It is Thursday already.
Thursday already. Well, you know those holiday weeks.
Love them.
Nice and short, aren't they?
They throw you off your pattern,
yeah.
Don't they?
Tomorrow y'all be at the bank. I'll be by myself chilling.
Yeah.
Weekend's here, man.
It's here. Bring it. So, anyway, today on the program, we got a varied schedule of items and stories, and I'm looking forward to having Heather James on the show, the classier part of the James family. She'll be joining us here in about 15 minutes. Clever idea. If you want to do something for your loved ones or your friends and you can't go there, you want to be creative, well, she can create, I guess you see, a celebration in a box. Called In a Box. We'll talk to Heather momentarily about that. And we'll visit that theme. That's, I think, a really good idea. And Tom could bail you out sometime, too, so remember that just in case you always get yourself in trouble because you forget things, and this is the way you can make it up fast.
So you're saying that I should become like a shareholder in her company? I would use it so much?
She probably wouldn't let you in, have a share of the company or no. She might be more discreet than that.
No, not actual have a share, but spend so much money with her, it's like I'm a shareholder.
Well, that could be, too. She'd be all right with that, for sure. Of course, Tom joins us every Tuesday here on the program for Around the Water Cooler. Today on the show, in addition to Heather, we'll talk to Mark Long of the Associated Press from Destin, where they're sort of noodling out ideas about how to improve Sagging football attendance, among other things, schedule changing. And today, Steve Spurrier was supposed to be named a Great Floridian by Governor Scott. He was supposed to be there for one of 17.
But how's that possible, being he's from Tennessee?
Well, and he lives in South Carolina.
I know.
He touches them all, doesn't he? Also, as Tom said earlier, we'll have Mr. Goff will show up talking about Memorial, and JJ's going to bring us up on his corner kick. I just say this about one thing regarding soccer, and I won't give the story away. They take their losses serious in Mexico, okay?
Everywhere.
It's not like this, though.
South America's bad place.
This is a bad thing, what you don't want to do when you get bad about your team losing. Gordon Gee, that humorous little guy with a bow tie, who was the president of Ohio State, he was once at Colorado, has stepped in it. He has insulted a whole bunch of people in these memos, emails, which became public. Well, you hear what he says about Catholics. And has a little SEC bashing going on there, too. So we'll see what Gordon Gee has to say. Hey, you guys ever tried to book a river cruise?
Man, you know we've never tried to do that.
You mean like a river cruise like you were talking about in Europe, or a river cruise just because I've cruised down the Chicago River. I've cruised down the Mississippi River. I've done cruises like that. So if you're talking about those kind of cruises, I went on a boat on the Columbia River. So if you're talking about those kind of rivers, then yes, I've done that. But I've never done the Danube or the Rhine or something like that.
Well, I wasn't talking about going down the Silver River on a 5-horse Johnson motor.
No. These were actual. You know, 2 of them were dinner cruises where you had dinner and you ate.
Yeah, one-night deal.
Right.
Yeah. So, we've never been. This is something Joni and I talked about for a long time. It's kind of a post-anniversary present we're trying to give ourselves, but they're expensive. And I literally have been shopping now for about 2 months. And I mean, I read and read and read. I've been on websites. I got magazines. I've talked to people. And I got it narrowed down to 3 and then down to 2. The problem is trying to get apples to apples. You don't know what you're getting charged for or what the bargain is for. In other words, one gives you, okay, book it now and get 1 airfare free. One of them says, prepay it to get this thing. There's all these little amenities you can get if you know which one to ask for. So it's kind of confusing. I'm at a point right now where I'm surprised I'm even talking about river cruising. I talked about it for an hour and a half this morning. Luckily, with someone who knows something about it. Sherry Marouz has been on this program. And my wife and a friend, and we were just sort of sorting this thing out. And over the next couple of months, you'll hear me talking about it. Maybe you can, out there in Radio Land, help me along the way if you've got any suggestions. I know that Mac Dunwoody and Anna Dunwoody have been on 8 of them.
Wow.
And they went with a company called Vantage. Anyway, just want to tell you, it's a little discombobulating. And then just to follow up with making excuses, it's never good when you turn on your computer and you see the wrong colored light.
No, it's
not a good thing.
Never good.
So, however, we shall overcome today.
Well, you're a dad. You have that strength.
We're going to do that. And we're going to defend. This is part 2 of defending the dads. For this article, I remember I was talking about it earlier this week. I found it. I want to talk about that in defense of dads. And they may have found Amelia Earhart's plane. So we'll tell you about that story.
They think they have.
And not necessarily good news for if you're working at CF. If I thought I was having a bad day. President of CF, Jim Henningsen, announced today their layoffs. 28 positions for 2013 and 14. And so that's not good news. So we'll tell you about that story, too, which is coming up. So that's the top of that. And lots more to come, so stay tuned to the Voice of Ocala. This is for you, Tom. I don't know the story, but I just know this. They're going crazy for Wendy's pretzel bacon cheeseburger.
I saw this.
I don't know. How's it sound? Pretzel bacon cheeseburger?
I've seen a picture of it.
Yeah, how's it look?
Nothing about that cheeseburger looks like I want to eat it.
Really? Well, good. It's because you've been retrained.
No, it's because it's a terrible-looking sandwich.
I love pretzels and I love burgers.
But not together?
No. That's like, the Food Channel always has those restaurants with crazy meals, and they have a huge donut as the bun.
Yeah,
I don't want to eat that, man.
2 glazed donuts as the bun and the burger in the middle. I don't want to eat that either.
You can literally feel your arteries clogging after you eat one of those.
What they're trying to do is create crack cocaine of food.
Yes.
Something you can't resist, right? So, anyway, just thought I'd throw a little food note in there for you, just to offset Laurie's healthy living thing. So, we will take a break. We'll come back. We'll be joined by Heather James. Celebrations in a box, or in a box, I should say. I want to add that word because it's so cool. But in other words, she's going to tell us all about how you can do this, how you can make a special day out of something in a creative way right here in the program called The Voice of Ocala on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source. This reprise of Ask the Cops is proudly brought to you by Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976.
My question is, how many motorcycle patrolmen are working right now between the police department and the county, and how many are there?
The police department has 6 traffic officers who ride motorcycles. It is a specialized assignment. It's always the same 6, and they're highly trained on how to handle that motorcycle and in traffic law investigation and enforcement. I'm not sure how many the sheriff has.
Yeah, we have around 4. It's the same here. I mean, they're specially trained. They're assigned to a traffic unit. I have a sergeant over top of that unit. I had a lieutenant, but when I took office, I went ahead and made a change and put that lieutenant in a district, and so now the sergeant heads that unit. And we have motorcycles. They could be in cars too, so it depends on them, depends on the weather conditions.
Since 1976, Daniel L. Hightower, a lawyer, has been fighting for accident victim justice in North Central Florida and statewide. He believes everyone in America should follow the rules, including the insurance companies. He and his firm have experience fighting for victims of personal injury, wrongful death, workers' compensation, and Social Security disability, as well as serving those in need of help with bankruptcy, simple wills, and estate plans. The mission at the law offices of Daniel L. Hightower, PA, is to represent deserving clients and recover the maximum benefits they are entitled to by law in a timely manner. In personal injury and workers' compensation cases, there are no fees or costs unless a recovery is made. The law office of Daniel L. Hightower is located at 7 East Silver Springs Boulevard, Suite 300. For your free consultation, call 352-629-7777 or 1-888-LAW-1976 and visit danhightower.com for more information. Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice, and the proud sponsor of Ask the Cops.
The AP is reporting that 2 explosions at the finish line at a Boston Marathon.
There's 3 people confirmed dead at Boston Marathon.
Multiple people injured.
Explosion at the Boston Marathon.
Report of another possible device at the Mandarin.
Our 6 reported injured, no death. Workers felt the blast all the way over from Newburyport Street.
The voice of Ocala, your eyes and ears when it really counts.
So what did you do with your weekend? Me? I was flying, because I'm taking flying lessons from Ocala Aviation. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, hey, I'd like to give that a shot, but I'm not quite sure. Well, I've got the solution. It's called the Discovery Flight, and that's exactly what it is. It helps you discover the wonder of flying and if it's for you. It's only $99, and it gives you the chance to learn a bit more about the airplane and then actually go for a ride with a flight instructor and take control of the airplane. That's how I got started, and now I'm on my way to being a pilot. Now, I know, scary thought, right? But the demand for qualified pilots is stronger than ever, and with the help of Ocala Aviation, you could make a career change and learn to be a commercial pilot. But it all starts with a Discovery Flight. So stop by the flight school, conveniently located at the Ocala Airport, visit the website at ocalaaviation.com, or call 861-7484. That's 861-7484. Ocala Aviation. Your adventure starts here.
Hi, I'm Russ with Climate Control Mechanical Services, and I want to invite you to tune in every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. to listen for tips and answers to the many questions you may have about your air conditioning and heating for your home or business. The Climate Control Show, every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. right here on WOCA, 1370 a.m. and 96.3 FM, The Source.
Garden, and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA, The Source.
This is Tom Schmitz live in the WOCA studios with this news break brought to you by the Angie Lewis State Farm Agency. College of Central Florida can no longer rely on reserves funding to balance its budget and will eliminate 28 positions for the 2013-2014 year. Though 17 of those positions are unfilled, 11 employees will lose their jobs, according to an email sent to employees by President Jim Henningsen. Henningsen noted in the email that based on projections, the college is facing a $2.4 million shortfall, mainly because of falling enrollment. This news break was brought to you by the Angie Lewis State Farm Agency. Join Angie as she joins Buddy weekly for her Biz Buzz or Good Neighbor Award.
Welcome to the program. Welcome back to the program, hour 2 of the show, Voice of Ocala. My pleasure now to introduce to the listening audience a rather new Ocalan, if I may call her that. She's what makes Tom James' world go around. And the reason he's able to survive day by day, that would be his wife, Heather. How are you, Heather?
I'm fine. How are you?
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
I saw you and read about y'all in the, in the magazine.
Yes.
Nice little story there. And
thank you.
That Tom wrote, and nice pictures of you and Tom and
Kiki.
And you, and Kiki, yeah. And you've only been here 5-6 months now.
Actually, it's been about 8-9 months.
It's been that long.
It has.
Wow.
Time flies.
Yeah. So, okay, I know you just thrilled about coming to this thriving metropolis of Ocala, from Southwest Florida, where there's beaches, all that kind of stuff.
Actually, we went to the beach this past weekend, and it's not that far from here.
It's not, and I also heard you went someplace last night for kind of a special event, huh?
We did. We went to the premiere of Dunk City, We Are FGCU, and Tom hosted that documentary.
He did a good job on that, too.
He did a great job.
And what a story that was.
It was fun. What a ride. Everybody's very proud.
Yeah. And I have not seen the whole video yet. I look forward to seeing it. Do you know where we can find it yet? Is there
I believe that a link will be posted after it premieres tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yes.
That's the station, that's the PBS station in Fort Myers, right?
Correct. WGCU.
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of interested in talking. Well, first of all, I'm just glad to see you because I never get a chance to see you.
It's good to see you.
Running crazy. But I'd heard about this from Tom some time ago, and I wasn't sure. I said, "Is this one of those things?" I know people who do similar things. I thought, "Is this one of those things that's a national company that does?" Then I find out this is original stuff that you're doing here.
Right. He asked. He said a couple people have asked if it was a franchise, and no, it was my own little conception, my little project, moving up here, trying to find a job, and how it came to be is that we were going to go home for Christmas to my home, which is Ohio. I'm a northerner, a Yankee.
What part of Ohio?
It's the Akron area, so about 45 minutes south of Cleveland.
Okay. My wife's born and raised in Cincinnati.
Okay.
So not raised, but born. She moved to Miami when she was 15. But anyway, she was born in Cincinnati. I know about those Yankee women.
Yeah. And I wanted to send Christmas to my family.
So you want to send Christmas to your family?
I did.
You just don't want to mail a package.
No.
You can't be there.
Right.
And you're saying, okay, I want to make this kind of special, and I want to do something unique. And I would say, I'm guessing here, this is what they call necessity is a mother of invention.
There you go.
Correct?
I agree. Absolutely.
So you decided, what can I do?
Right.
And you thought of what before you came up with this idea?
I thought of touching all their senses. I wanted to put a lot of love into it since I wasn't there and basically give them Christmas in my absence. So I put in candles and potpourri and Christmas music, gingerbread cake mix, picture frame with the picture of me. Let's see what else. Christmas towel. A little Christmas tree, an ornament.
A little Christmas tree.
Yeah,
that's kind of neat.
Christmas coffee. Anything that touched all their senses so that when they opened it, they had Christmas. And when I brought that home, my husband said, I think you have something here.
How about that?
Yeah.
I think you're only missing one item.
What is that?
A copy of Urban's Way, the book. Would have been a really nice little touch, as he's now coaching at Ohio State.
I was going to say.
You're part of it. Perfect. But other than that, you did fine.
Thank you.
That's really cool that you do something like that.
He is a Buckeye now, isn't he?
He is a Buckeye. Yes, he is. So I see your brochure here now. It's kind of a neat looking, in a box.
In a box.
So now, this wasn't just one time. I see you got pizza night, staycation.
Well, like you said, I'm trying to put a celebration
breakfast
to every life's occasion.
Yeah.
And so we have everything from anniversary in a box to staycation in a box, spa in a box. I'm actually working with Woodley Gardens, Martha Jane Davis, who said to say hello.
Martha Jane is a wonderful lady.
And she said the same about...
So talented and such a great Marion County.
Absolutely.
She does a terrific job in her catering business.
And I felt it was important, being new to the area, to I wanted to support area merchants and businesses.
Good
and
idea.
so I've partnered with her, and we're going to come out with some food and beverage option boxes together to deliver locally.
Good idea.
Yeah, so we'll have dinner in a box, cocktail party in a box, dinner and movie in a box.
Radio in a box?
Sure, we could come up with radio in a
We could
box.
put Tom's voice on a CD and send it along, Yeah.
So
and maybe just put a little box in and just say box in a box.
Box in a box.
Just because you can.
Sure.
Well, I mean, that's really clever. And so now you did it one time, and your reception to your family was what?
It was wonderful. They were blown away, and so I sat down and came up with over 20 themed events.
Give me a couple.
Like a spa in a box, staycation in a box, beach day in a box.
What would staycation in a box be like if JJ got it?
Staycation in a box would be...
She doesn't know me, but...
No, aside from a night in a bar, I mean, other than that, what would it be?
Well, the nice thing about these boxes is that I could customize it for JJ. I have a personal page that I send all my clients or customers, and you can tell me about the recipient, so I can personalize it and make it special to the person you're sending it to. But my typical staycation in a box would have a tropical music CD in it, a tropical oil diffuser, a tropical non-alcoholic drink mix, because I can't ship alcohol, a tropical themed tumbler glasses, many you probably wouldn't want this, a mani-pedi set.
You might.
Listen, I've been told that
you could be Metro
by some of my guy friends. I've been told by plenty of guy friends that I should check that out.
Okay,
actually, I do pedicures.
Okay,
and I think they're wonderful because you get a little older, your toes get a little harder to deal with.
That's your feet. That's your feet.
That's your feet. Yeah. And it really does help clean up your feet, by the way.
Yeah.
My feet are beautiful. I've been told I have very
well, JJ, that's too much information, okay?
And then we could make it unisexual, so self-tanning lotion and magazine, books, assorted snacks
books.
and candy.
I heard books in there.
Books, we could throw the Urban's book in there.
But you want to do it so it doesn't cost you a bunch of money.
Right.
So what you want to do is you want to get something for $3 off of Amazon.com with free shipping, or find a used copy someplace. You know what I'm saying? Right. You don't want to go spend $25 for a book. That goes your budget right there.
Exactly. And that's when I started looking at this. I realized that quickly that I needed to make it affordable and to be able to put all the fun items in it so that it's fun to open it. It's it's not just one gift and you say, oh, thank you, and put it aside. You're digging to find more and enjoying opening it.
Sure. And movie night, that gets my interest.
Movie night. Mm-hmm. We have your choice of a movie, a large popcorn bowl, popcorn, gourmet soda, and assortment movie theater candy, and a blanket.
I just thought of a very inexpensive gift for that.
Okay.
If someone's got kids.
Sure.
For $2 a movie, kids can go to the Marion Theater on Tuesdays and get a free popcorn and soda for $2. You can't in the summertime. You can't beat that. No. Now that would be a wonderful thing. $10 or whatever. I mean, even $4 for two kids to go to a movie, and mom gets a little respite from the from the hot summer day. Would be another thing to add to it. Now, what's your budget on something like that? What do you want to try to keep that to?
Well, I have that at $45.
$45. Okay, so you gotta make 20 or 25.
Exactly.
So you gotta make 50% make
right.
it worthwhile.
But I am very much, as I said, supporting the local community. So that would be something to look into. I'm also working with Ocala Chocolate and Confections.
They're wonderful.
They
have
are wonderful
some terrific
people.
stuff.
Yes. So
you got some good people. There's some good things.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you got to go for specials though. When you see something, what I mean by that is for items. Mm-hmm. When you can buy something really inexpensive and hold it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm trying not to sit on a lot of product at first to make sure this took off.
Right.
But I have found my special places, and that's what makes it fun, I think. And as I've been told, I make the person giving the gift look like a rock star because I'm doing the work. I'm going and finding the specials and finding the fun little things and keeping it affordable.
I'm told that you've had a number of people actually do this since Christmas.
I have. I've done over 20 boxes.
Wow.
I was doing that.
Word of mouth is?
Word of mouth, yes. And I've donated quite a few. I've donated to United Way's Women's of Worth, Ocala's Women's Network, American Cancer Society's Cattle Barons Ball, Mojo's Ribs for Kids, the Cancer Benefit, and then the Ocala Rotary Club annual golf tournament this past last couple weekends, I guess, a couple weekends ago.
What's been your most popular box?
I've done quite a few birthday in the boxes, which were personalized. Most of what I've done, Buddy, quite frankly, is the I've customized from my existing boxes. I've done a Welcome to Florida box.
Little sand maybe in there?
Yeah, little sand and
Few
water
shells. Yeah.
So I went down and found some gator egg gum. Yeah,
gator egg gum.
Yeah, that's right. Chocolate alligator.
Chocolate alligator,
Yeah.
there you go.
An orange tree. I put an orange tree in it. But and I think my spa in a box has been very popular. I've done quite a few wedding in a boxes as well.
Now that's interesting because you really want something different for a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't think of it. And you don't want to give a typical call up the local store and say, give them a knife or something, which is what you do on weddings,
Right.
Even graduation could be really cool.
Sure, and I've done graduations. I've done a graduation from college, and I've also done one from nursing school.
Now, that would be interesting and challenging because usually speaking, your budget is, you look at a great graduation, unless it's somebody really close to you, it's $50. It's about what you go normally. And so I bet you could do something for a graduation, that would be, well, anyway, so the holidays, of course, are the best time.
Yes, and I have Christmas and Hanukkah and Easter, Halloween, Mother's Day and Father's Day with Father's Day
now,
coming up.
Father's Day coming up would be a good one.
Sure.
Give me an example of what we could do. If I could, JJ, this is for your dad now. You might want to pay attention. So what would you like to...
Well, I would customize my Guys Night Out box for Father's Day. And actually, this is what I did for the Rotary Club for the golf outing recently. I put some cigars in it, cigar cutters, some snacks, some of Woodley Gardens herbed pecans in it.
A GPS?
I didn't put a GPS. I put some rocks glasses and a decanter in it, a poker set. What else did I put in there?
How about a hall pass from home?
Yeah, right.
You're okay. You go out with the guys and watch the ball game or something. That would be...
But I try. As I said, I can customize my existing, or I could do, if your father enjoyed gardening, I have a garden in a box.
Right.
Or golfing, I did put some chocolate golf balls in there from Ocala Chocolate and Confections. So it was
now
fun.
let me mention those people just tuning in. What is this all about? This is called In a Box. And Heather James has created this idea, which is quite unique. If you want kind of a unique gift, this is a good place, and personal one. She's got everything from breakfast to babies to beach to pool to date night. Date night should be big.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day certainly would be big. Or you can just go pizza night, spa, whatever. This is the one I want. Pampered.
You want a pampered?
I want that pampered one. Yeah, whatever that is. I want that pampered deal.
I'll send your wife an email.
Yeah, no, I want that pampered. So now people are getting ready to, Father's Day is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And let's give some information how they can get a hold of you, okay?
Well, I'm working on a website right now, but until then, you can go to my Facebook page.
Looking at it right here. In a box 1234.
Facebook.com.
You and I could remember that.
Yeah, in a box 1234. And then also my email, which is in a box 1234 at gmail.com.
And just tell you what that you need to know. They're interested in. If they don't have the coupon here on their flyer, I'd like to know more information about Father's Day gifts.
Sure.
I have a budget of whatever, right?
Right, and I'll be glad to help you with that. And then really my Facebook page, I'm always updating and putting a featured box of the month up, and it has a list of all my box offerings and pricing. Again, and anything new, I let everyone know I was going to be on your show today. Any new information or exciting information I will post on my Facebook page, which is, again, facebook.com in a box 1234.
Now, what is a la carte box? This is option available on request.
A la carte is where you can build your own box, basically. You can look at my existing boxes and pick and choose what you would like to be in it. So it's another way to customize and personalize your gift.
So in the neighborhood of $45 to $65, something like that,
45
probably?
to 85.
85? Okay, for the high-end stuff. What's the $85 one?
That's the baby in the box.
Oh, okay.
That has and the reason that is a little more high-end.
Well, Christmas is 85 too.
Yeah. There's more items in it, and also for the baby in the box, it's also, some gifts for mommy as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's for my baby and mom. That's right. That's right. Well, that's very clever.
Well, thank you.
I wish you the best on that.
Thank you so much.
I think it would be. I think it's going to go big. I think it's unique, and I think people
from your
like
lips to God's ears. I hope so. I'm also venturing out into the corporate arena.
Tell us about that.
Well, I want to. I think the uniqueness and the variety can, and the customization option is going to make it personal for people, for their company and for their clientele, to help them stand out from their competitors and help uncover new deals, close existing ones, and even for their employees, something special that makes them feel valued to be.
So if a
working for them.
business wants to get one with their logo stamped on it or something,
Exactly.
they could order a dozen of them or something, give them away on special
Well,
occasions.
actually, we could put their items in it. If they have koozies
Their
or
items.
bottled water or
Yeah.
anything,
Right.
whatever they would want to do, I'd be willing to work
Yeah.
with them.
Well, that's terrific.
Well, thank
It's called
you.
In a Box. Heather James, get in touch with her. Again, it's email in a box, just like it sounds, 1234@gmail.com. Go to her Facebook page, In a Box 1234. Thank you, Heather.
Thank you, and thank you for everything you've done for us since we've moved up
Well,
here.
thank you for letting us have your husband on Tuesdays.
Oh, you're welcome. You can have him any other time if you want. Well, I take
Get a hall
during
pass.
football season. Yeah, he has a hall
football,
pass.
Yeah, we have him on Friday nights too.
That's right. That's right.
I appreciate it.
Thank
Great.
you.
Good to be with you, Heather. And
You too.
All the best.
Thank you.
Take a break. Come back. We'll catch up with a few things like tweets and quotes, a little bit of the news. More coming your way right here on the Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Having the motivation and making the commitment to quit smoking is a great first step towards becoming smoke-free. However, anyone who's tried to quit smoking knows how challenging it can be. Having the determination to quit may not be enough. You may need some help. If you're ready to quit smoking and are between the ages of 18 and 75, currently smoke 10 or more cigarettes a day, and can commit to participating for 24 weeks, you may be interested in a research study which is being conducted to evaluate the use of investigational drugs to see if they can aid individuals in their quest to quit smoking. To help you quit, smoking cessation counseling and all study-related medical care will be provided at no extra cost. It may also be reimbursed for your travel time. To receive more information about this study, how you can participate, please call Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. That's Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala, 352-629-5800.
Relations got you down. Are you at your wit's end? Does the opposite sex just confuse you? Then I've got the solution for you, Dr. Buddy.
Well, let me just tell you what you slugs are doing wrong. Remember, dummy, it's about the chase and the romantic interludes, okay? Now, here's the difference. Instead of dinner and a movie, which seems obsolete these days, they have these random phone text, Facebook posts, instant message, and quote-unquote non-dates. Traditional courtship, which is still what women want, guys. Picking up a telephone, asking someone on a date, maybe even going as far to pick them up in your car, requires courage, strategic planning, and a considerable investment in ego.
So now you know where to tune in to get all your relationship advice. It's the Dr. Buddy Show every Monday on the Voice of Ocala. You can succeed only on 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Howdy, folks. RL here to invite you to Dairy Queen for a great new meal. Dairy Queen's now serving 3 different $5 meals. Hot dogs with chili, cheese, slaw, whatever. Quarter pound with cheese, loaded up any way you like it. Solid filet chicken tenders. And each meal comes with fries, a drink, and a sundae for only $5. You got that right. Nobody beats that deal. A great value and a great meal. So come on down to Dairy Queen at Silver Springs, where they always treat you like kings and queens.
This is a public notice. Local residents can now save thousands of dollars on their next car, truck, or SUV. It's not a tent sale, because no tent is big enough to hold this many cars. It's ocalaforsale.com. Say goodbye to sticker shock. Ocalaforsale.com has thousands of vehicles with no stickers at all. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to ocalaforsale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, less proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
This is Don with ABC Fredericks Appliance. Here's my daughter, Lena.
And hey, everybody, it's Lena. You need to come down to ABC Fredericks Appliance on County Road 25, just over the railroad tracks in Bellevue, where you are treated right with the right products like Whirlpool, Maytag, Crosley, and Speed Queen. These are the new ones. Don't forget, we also carry used appliances that we warranty. ABC Fredericks Appliance does repairs, too. Call us at 629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance on County Road 25, just over the railroad tracks in Bellevue. It's at 629-5181.
News Talk 1370. WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults. So use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370 WOCA.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
This is Tom Schmitz live in WOCA studios with this news break brought to you by Gateway Bank. According to ocala.com, police say that two longtime friends reunited recently after years apart, and they came up with a bucket list of things they wanted to do together. One of the items on the list, steal something from a retail store. It landed them both in jail. Andrea Mobley and Jennifer Morrow, friends since childhood, were arrested Wednesday for petty theft at Walmart after they tried to fulfill their bucket list. This news break was brought to you by Gateway Bank, your new old-fashioned bank. Join Buddy every Friday for Community Gazette Day at Gateway Bank.
That wasn't a bucket list. That was a can list. They all went open as the cans. What they did.
I'm pretty sure that that's the idiot bucket list.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely the list. Real quickly, I want to say that the story out of CF we heard about, they've laid off 28, well, actually have not filled some, but they reduced by 28 positions.
They've eliminated 28 of them.
Yeah, the 28 of positions, 2013-14. 17 of those are unfulfilled, and 11 employees will lose their jobs, according to Jim Henningsen, who sent out an email today, I guess, according to ocala.com. Henningsen noted that the college is facing a $2.4 million shortfall, maybe because of the falling enrollment. Now, you know, we had people on here talking about this earlier last year, Joe Wallace, others, about in bad times how the student body enrollment increased at one point, 9,000. According to this, this says it was 6184, falling below the level of 2010's of 6405, but we thought we heard the number, at one point we heard the number of almost 9,000.
Right.
So I don't know.
Now as the economy's improving and people are going back to work, you know, it's always been said community colleges see a boon in students when hard times happen because people are trying to get new careers.
And they used almost $2 million in reserve the last 2 years, and they can't do that. And so their budget was $40 million, 39.4, the biggest ever. So the budget was big. The economy was bad. Something had to give, so they laid off. Well, they reduced 28 jobs and laid off 11. So that's what's going on there. Before I go into my little dissertation on dads, for those of you who didn't hear the comments we made yesterday of our guest who was talking about fatherhood, 7 traits of real men. We talked about fathers, about the fact that dads need to stand up, but they also need to get a little credit once in a while. And we said we would support anybody's movement to support who would say, you know, stand up for dads. I found this article I've been talking about for a couple of days now, and when I come back, I want to tell you about it. Here's what's funny about it. According to the article, the people who actually talk the most, the moms who claim to be overworked and desperate for dads to do more, according to this article, are often the very first ones to criticize them for not doing things right when they step up. So there you go. Who wants to be criticized for doing something? And so that's one of the reasons, perhaps. We're going to defend dads on this. We'll talk about that in a minute. Mainly, though, I want to get to this story of this dingbat who beat up his girlfriend and did some crazy stuff and thankfully is apprehended. What in the world is that about?
Joseph Price, an Ocala man. He was estranged from his girlfriend. He showed up at Kimberly's cottage to with flowers, trying to win her back.
Which is a shelter for battered women.
Right, trying to win her back yesterday.
He did a great job of that.
When she wouldn't get back together with him, he hit the woman in front of others, then drove to his mother's home, rammed his vehicle into hers, kicked open the door, and that's where he was greeted by gunfire. What happened is he went. Well, his own mother.
His mother shot
up.
him.
Right. He showed up at Kimberly's cottage with flowers in hand. He became angry when his ex-girlfriend said that she wasn't going to get back together with him. He pulled her from her vehicle. He beat her with her 10-year-old daughter right there watching. The daughter runs away from the vehicle. He punches a hole in the windshield of the vehicle, jumps on it and everything. Then when the cops are called, he jumps in that vehicle because there's nobody in it. He's already taken his ex-girlfriend out and beat her. He takes it and drives over to his mother's duplex. He blames his mother somewhat for the breakup, rams his mother's car in the driveway, shoves it through a chain-link fence separating her duplex from another duplex, gets out of the car that he drove there with, kicks open her front door, and when he does, his mom was ready. She wasn't going to get beat up by him. She opened fire with a .357. She missed him, 2 shots. She missed him. Police arrived because they're following this moron's trail because he ain't trying to hide where he's going. And they took him into custody. And so now he's been charged with several charges, including aggravated battery, stalking, and felony burglary of an occupied structure with assault. So it's a guy that Joseph Price, he's been in prison before, and he's on his way back.
So let me ask this. How did it go with his girlfriend? She coming back?
She doesn't. She's not going to. I promise you, won't be on the visitation list in Rayford State Penitentiary.
Wow. Craziness.
He'll be over at the Union. He'll be at the Union Correctional Facility in Union County over there near Stark for a while.
Yeah. By the way, we all love a mystery, right? I mean, I really like a good mystery.
You mean like Columbo mystery? Just
those are good.
One more question. I just got one more.
At least
question.
Columbo didn't have a dead body in 30 seconds. You know what I mean?
No.
And but we like a little mystery, and Amelia Earhart remains one of the most interesting ones after all these years. What is it, 76 years?
Well, yeah, because the Pacific holds the clue somewhere out in the vast ocean of the Pacific.
Now, she was hero. She was like Tim Tebow in her day.
Right.
She was huge, and she went around the globe, and of course disappeared, and no one ever figured out what happened to her. Well, apparently this group, the International Group for Historic Aircraft Recovery, didn't know they had one like that. More than a decade ago, pinpointed this island. It's called Nika Maroro.
Right.
As a location where a plane went down. Now they're saying they have a new sonar image taken during the 2012 island visit that supports the theory that that's where her plane is. It's described by a guy named Deutsche Well as a grainy photograph that reveals something about 600 feet below the water surface and said it's an anomaly. The quote says the most prominent part of the anomaly appears less than 32 feet long, which I guess is about the size of...
Well, her plane was almost
38.
40 foot.
Yeah, but I mean, tailboat could have broken off, whatever. Anyway, I think it's interesting, and what they can do today with modern electronics is amazing. They can recover all kinds of things.
Well, hold on a minute. The boys cried wolf numerous times in this story.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see it before we say they've definitely found it.
Well, I mean, of course, then there's no mystery.
Right.
I'm talking about the mystery of it. That's what makes it
interesting. The historian that I am says, I've had them tell me they've found Amelia's plane a lot, and they've never found Amelia's plane. And the problem with Amelia's plane is her aircraft is relatively about the same size as Japanese Zero aircraft from World War II. And there's a lot of those that got shot down and they're on remote islands and all in the Pacific.
Well, that's what makes it interesting.
It is
the hunting for this particular,
right.
like the Titanic, whatever. And what was the name of the guy who fell on gold off the coast years ago? Remember?
The Spanish guy.
Ton of it.
Yeah.
No, Miami.
Right, but he found the Spanish galleon with tons.
Found a bunch of them.
Right,
there's several of them.
Right,
and they are still out there. Spanish galleons are still there.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of them. Let's go. That's what we should become, treasure hunters.
Yes.
Let's go. Let's do it.
That could be a new bit on the show.
The treasure hunters?
Yeah, we could just go around with Willa Boyer and hopefully find
We could get Willa Boyer. That would be a good
idea. If anybody, of course.
He looks for treasures all the time.
There you go.
To him, treasure is a little bit different.
Yeah. We're looking to cash in.
Pottery. We want some hard coin. And he'll take a... And of course, you can't monetize.
He'll take a button.
Oh yeah, you got to. He's not interested. Well, he'd like to make some money, like we would know, but anthropologists don't do that. That's a no selling stuff like that. So, they're not quite as
you were talking about was in 2007. It says U.S. courts say $500 million of gold and silver coins recovered by U.S. treasure hunters from Atlantic in 2007 now belongs to Spain.
Right. That's the one. What's the guy's name, though? I can't think of his name. He was on at 60 Minutes and all kind of stuff. And
they had to give the gold
I don't know.
up.
What, did they finally give it up?
Yes.
Yeah, the courts made him.
Of course, he raised a ton of money just getting the expedition together, too. You wonder about that. All right, that'll wrap up this particular segment. We come back with a little tweets and quotes. Get ready for sports. Things happening out in Sandestin.
Sterling Voris.
That wasn't him. It was somebody else. That's the second guy. The main guy I'm thinking of is somebody else. Mark something or whatever. We'll find it. Anyway, we'll talk to you about what Will Muschamp said about his assistant coach who got a loose tongue. We'll be talking to Mark Long, the AP. He's out there in Sandestin. I'm going to things on that. Follow that. Tim Tebow. Dan Marino weighs in on Tim Tebow. Why not everybody else has? What famous streak started 31 years ago today in sports?
31 years.
31 years ago in sports. We'll know. And then it's time to talk a little bit of golf. See what's going on. I don't know. I know the Gator softball team was down 3-0 after a couple of innings. JJ might check it. And the starting pitcher got pulled. She walked like 3 people. So they had to pull her in the first inning. So that's 3-0. Florida the 2nd seed and Tennessee the 7th seed.
And I got up-to-date scores for you on the Memorial Tournament when we come back.
And we got corner kick from JJ. Also, Gordon Gee, unbelievable what he said.
Is that the Ohio State president?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dear.
Unbelievable. What he said is right up there with, the bad things you can say. So
who did he say it about?
The Catholics.
Well, we'll be
the SEC. By the way, now both of them are religious groups. The SEC and Catholics.
The Catholics in the room will be a judge of how insulting it was.
Well, I don't know. You don't have to do that. Anybody can tell what a fool he was to say. Anyway, I'll tell you about when you take your sports a little too serious. What happened in Mexico? We're on a soccer game. All that coming up next. Stay tuned to the program called The Voice of Ocala right here on
1370 AM, 95. Listen,
hello, get it
96.3 FM. Streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on The Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on. Call your good neighbor's State Farm agent today, Angie Lewis, at 294-2444. Recently, I had a great conversation with General Manager Pat Murray on the special events at Country Club of Ocala.
We have a lot of events, special events here that are geared towards the family. Easter comes to mind. We have an Easter bunny who hops around on the driving range, and we usually hide somewhere in the neighborhood of 3,000 eggs and turn them loose and let them go harvest the eggs. We have a great family celebration here on the 4th of July where it's a traditional cookout, if you will. And as the sun goes down, the driving range becomes alive with probably one of the better fireworks displays in the area. Breakfast with Santa is a big deal.
Country Club of Ocala, where the Easter Bunny, Santa, and all the children, large and small, are a big deal on every special occasion. For more information, call 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of the Monday Gator Report right here on The Source.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to James A. Cusimano, an entertainer, a scientist, a corporate executive, an entrepreneur, an inspirational speaker, and an author. He's written a book called Balance, the Business-Life Connection, a step-by-step method for identifying and recapturing one's essence.
Open for debate where you get to choose the topic.
And then Jim George will be on. He's the owner of American Cable Services. He'll be answering all of our questions about electronics.
Gail Trotter is an attorney and a senior fellow with the Independent Women's Forum. She will be speaking about the testimony of IRS Director Lois Lerner.
And then Ocala Magazine Radio with your host John Sotomayor, the executive editor of Ocala Magazine.
Dr. E.Z. Friedel is a surgeon and a novelist. He's written a book called Marilyn's Red Diary. It's a novel based on new information on what might have really happened to Marilyn Monroe.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Call me crazy. Some people say insanity is doing the same thing over and over expecting a different result. I think insanity is 1,000 single-sided full-color business cards for $15 or packing service for 50% off. Call me crazy. Regency Printing on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street, 789-6683. That's 789-6683. Look for the yellow signs.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Now, talking about finding the goals, couldn't figure out the guy's name was that got all that goal, and Joan Martin came through with Mel Fisher. What's the name of that ship, JJ?
Nuestra Senora de Atocha.
Yeah, had tons of gold on it. Like, he got to keep his, I do believe, as far as I know. So that's Mel Fisher I couldn't think of. It's going to be an interesting conversation during sports. We talk about flopping. Somebody very famous got fined today for flopping. And
I haven't realized I've been fined yet, but thank you. Thank you for telling me.
No, we didn't say a flop. We said flopping. That's the difference in
okay.
the two things.
I understand now.
Tonight, Game 5, we'll talk about that matchup. And the statistics show that 83% of the time the team that wins Game 5 wins the series. And there's some golf going on up in Ohio with a couple of cats. We'll tell you about that, some scores of that coming up next. So right now, though, it's time for a little tweets and quotes, JJ. You got the music?
Here we go.
Pretty serious stuff today, so can't give you too many yucks today. But good advice. Freedom is not letting your yesterday affect your today. That's so true. It's like golf. If you make a double bogey, you got to go on. You can't let that double bogey make you on the bogey and get off that bogey train. So that's true. Freedom is not letting your yesterday affect your today. I'll remember that tomorrow. This is from Henry J. Kaiser. They made the Kaiser and the Fraser automobiles, which weren't too cool, but I like this quote. When your work speaks for itself, don't interrupt.
There's a lot of celebrities that should listen to that and take that into account.
Why'd you look at me then?
And finally, from William Arthur Ward, this is a good one for everybody. The pessimist complains about the wind. The optimist expects it to happen. The realist adjusts the sails. Well, good advice today from Tweets and Quotes for you. And we'll tell you about the famous guy who lives in South Carolina, was born in Tennessee, and became a great Floridian today all at one time. All that's coming up right here on the program. JJ's in the house. Sean Down Goes Frazier someplace back in the archives. Tom Schmitz, Buddy Martin. So stay tuned for that coming up next right here on the Voice of Ocala Buddy Sports page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Even your emotions have an echo in so much space. And when you're out there without care, yeah, I was out of touch. But it wasn't because I didn't know enough.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Are you looking for a trustworthy auto care company that won't sell you something you don't need? Look no further than Affordable Auto Air and Care. Affordable Auto Air and Care has serviced Ocala for a decade and is family owned and operated. They offer quality parts at affordable prices, and they even include a 1-year or 12,000-mile warranty on their parts and labor. Their certified technicians work on any type of vehicle, even RVs. They specialize in auto AC, but they also offer oil changes, brake service, filters, tune-ups, shocks, axles, complete auto repair. Affordable Auto Air and Care is located at 1841 Northwest 4th Avenue on the corner of Old Jacksonville Road and 441. Call 352-401-0011 to book an appointment. That's 352-401-0011. Affordable Auto Air and Care. Complete auto repair. Take it from me, Tom Schmitz. I'm a customer.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA The Source.
In Clark, we trust.
Hi, this is Clark Howard. Join me every weeknight at 6, right here on WOCA 1370, The Source.
Phoenix Promotional Solutions, your company supplier of banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Where you give them approved artwork by noon, the next day by 4 p.m., you pick up your banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404. That's 368-2404. Don't forget, they do vehicle wraps also. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404.
Stay informed on everything going on in the Villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the Villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Don't ever miss a single edition of the Mike Huckabee Show. We're going to have a whole lot of fun talking the big issues of the day. We'll talk to the newsmakers and the issues that made them a newsmaker, as well as we'll bring you some entertainment, some fun. You never know what's going to happen on the Mike Huckabee Show. Don't miss it.
Join Mike Huckabee every weekday from noon to 3 exclusively on WOCA The Source.
Cookies, 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 cookies.
When you want something special and fun for any occasion, get cookies. That's right. The Great American Cookie Company in the Paddock Mall, Ocala will make a delicious, fun-filled delight just for you. You might notice that I said fun and delicious more than once. That's because I can't say it enough. The next time you're at the mall, be sure and stop by or call 352-237-2557 to place your order.
Cookies, cookies,
Yum.
cookies, cookies. We go cookie eating cookies.
The Great American Cookie Company.
WWOCA,
This is WOCA, News Talk 1370.
WOCA. You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
Barack Obama, it's been intercepted by a White House mail screening facility and turned over to the FBI's terrorism task force for testing. Secret Service says the letter's similar to two threatening letters that were sent to Mayor Michael Bloomberg in New York that tested positive for ricin. New York City Police Commissioner Ray Kelly says the letters complained about gun control. Who knew you could eat fast food every day and still lose weight? The CEO of McDonald's says he lost about 20 pounds over the past year without changing his habit of eating McDonald's every single day. Don Thompson said he did it by working out. And Clarence Burke Jr., the lead singer of the group The Five Stairsteps, has died. Big song, Ooh Child. Burke was 64. This is ABC News.
At Advance Auto Parts, when you buy more, you save more. Right now, you can get a 5+ quarts jug, a Valvoline conventional oil, and DriveWorks filter for just $20.99. But as any video game football player knows, you always go for two. So when you get two Valvoline oil change specials, they're just $17.99 each. You save $6 more instantly. Don't waste time mailing things in. Get it now at Advance Auto Parts. See store for details.
The joint supplements of today are sadly incomplete because they don't give you the joint relief you need. Until now. Introducing the complimentary 2-week sample of Instaflex, our most powerful joint formula ever. It's the #1 selling joint supplement at GNC. Claim your sample today. 1-800-451-6580. Great for your knees, hands, even your hips. Instaflex is available at GNC, but you can only get your complimentary 2-week sample by calling 1-800-451-6580. 1-800-451-6580.
How much time? 30 seconds. I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Okay. Enough kidding around.
Ho, 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 ho.
And now it's time for the Buddy Martin Sports Page.
He actually had me stay here last night in his gym.
It's like I don't fit in. It's like I don't belong here.
Let's go talk to a couple of guys that never gamble.
Oh, see, I made Lewis a bet here. See, Lewis bet me that we couldn't both get rich and put you on the phone house at the same time. He didn't think we could do it.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
And now, here's Buddy.
All right, welcome to my sports page. Thursday, a little news going around when the president talks and actually writes these racy memos and they made public. It can cause a stir, especially when you're talking about Notre Dame when you call them those damn Catholics. Not a good thing by Gordon Gee. Also took shots at the SEC and the University of Louisville. And as we said earlier, it's all religion. Tom said earlier he wasn't so mad about the Catholics. He's just mad about the SEC comments, right?
Well, he said that priests are holy on Sunday and they're holy hell the rest of the week to negotiate with. If you've ever been at a church bazaar or anything and seen how priests negotiate, you as a Catholic, you may think that that's not too far from the truth. And then he says you can't trust those damn Catholics on a Thursday or Friday. And I know a lot of Catholics that think Thursday and Friday are the party days because they can go on Saturday and go to confession. So, but then he says when the SEC finally learns to read and write, then maybe they can start talking to us about things. Well, hold on, big guy. What do you mean when they can learn to read and write? I thought that Vanderbilt's one of the best colleges in the country. University of Florida's trying to be the Harvard of the South. I mean, the University of Georgia leaves something to be desired for intelligence, but still.
This just in, Urban Meyer no longer the guy on the hot seat in Columbus.
Yeah, exactly.
Who comes from the SEC. And he has apologized, Gee has. I think he put his foot in his mouth big time. He's been known to do that. He says, the comments I made were just plain wrong. No way do they reflect what the university stands for. They were a poor attempt at humor and entirely inappropriate. When are guys like him going to stop making jokes?
By the way, for those people out there listening, I am Catholic, so I know a little something about it. I wasn't just poking fun at Catholics.
That's Tom, but
I am a Catholic. Tom Schmitz.
Just don't make sure you don't mix us up.
Tom Schmitz. I am a Catholic.
He's going to get away with this, but because it is just making fun of, at the end of the day, white people, and you can still do that in this country. Like you can't. That could not have been Muslim or black or anything like that. But he's not going to get in trouble.
No.
It's going to disappear in about a day.
You know, I blew through this segment, unfortunately, before, and I do want to say something about this dads thing, because it does pertain to sports in some regard. I didn't get a chance to read it last hour, but this particular piece, which I'll go into tomorrow a little bit more, is defensive dads who, because the moms say they're overworked and desperate for dads to do more, but when the dads do it, they get criticized. Now, I've talked about this the other day with our guest because sports is where you see a lot of this. I know that the University of Florida used to have a family day, and that was one reason was because so many families, so many kids didn't have dads, and Urban Meyer and staff wanted to see them with the father figure. So, and this whole thing with dads has gotten a little bit out of hand. We talked about it some yesterday. I know this is a sports segment, but sitcoms make fun of them. We become the sort of the doofuses of families, But then on the other hand, today there are more dads doing more with children and dressing them and bathing them and what have you than ever before. And so it's something I think that we need to have a little respect on. And I think the fact is that most dads, try pretty hard. Let's face it, we do screw up quite a bit. But we do more if the women would say, hey, pretty good effort there. Let me help you out on this. I'll show you how to do it. But what were you thinking about when you did that? And what does that make you want to do? Well,
not be a good dad.
Not want to be a helper. So anyway, that little note I want to get in there because I want to stand up for dads out there right now. I think they need a little help. All right, story 2. Flopping in the NBA, JJ. Go to the headlines.
Yes, today 2 were fined for flopping, including the MVP of the league, LeBron James. David West also fined $5,000 for the flop on the same play in the fourth quarter.
How do they both flop on the same play?
If you watch the highlights, you can see exactly what play it is. They both kind of fake get tangled up, throw their arms in the air, get pushed over, or whatever. Also, there was a flagrant foul, upgraded to a flagrant one, on David West for his hit on Dwayne Wade.
In the fourth quarter when he shoved him by the head into the crowd.
And they're going to have to change this whole flopping, fine $5,000. They're going to have to start making this into a technical foul because even LeBron came out yesterday and said it's a strategic advantage if you flop.
What was he thinking saying that?
That was stupid. He said some guys have been doing it for years just trying to get an advantage. Any way you can get an advantage over the opponent to help your team win, so be it.
Shane Battier is under contract because he can flop.
Yes.
Okay.
Speaking of the Miami Heat, they will be playing very, very, very pivotal Game 5 tonight.
What did Buddy say yesterday? 83% of the time, the winner of Game 5 goes on to win the 7-game series?
Sounds about right. It's tied 2-2. It is in Miami. They're laying 7.5, I believe. 8:30 TNT. Must-watch game, especially after what happened last time. Maurice Jones-Drew, also known as Mojo, also known as MJD.
Stop it with the MJD. There's no MJD in sports. Come on now. RG3's bad enough. He didn't play but 1 year. Let's not give everybody initials. There's only one guy I can think of with initials. That's MJ, okay?
Yes.
Other than that, they all have to have a first name or last
Maurice
name.
Jones-Drew.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Formerly known as just Maurice Drew.
Yeah.
Got into an altercation with security guard.
At the Comcast.
And then they came out yesterday. The cops said he wasn't involved. Now the lawyer for the guy who got hit in the face, who has
Kasim Howard,
had a dislocated jaw and spinal injuries,
according to his lawyer,
is claiming that they have video evidence of the Jacksonville Jaguars starting tailback attacking the client.
Going after the cash.
Well, and they're saying the Conch House security video captures it. If there was Conch House security video, don't you think the St. Augustine police would have that video?
They probably will. And this is my favorite headline of the day.
Conk is a pretty good name for it right now. You got conked all right.
West Coast Conference had its meetings this week.
The WCC.
And one school, Portland, their basketball coach, had a self-imposed NC violation because one of the students slash athletes, a women's golfer, was washing her car. But she was washing her car on campus using, quote, university water.
Oh, no.
So now they're charging her $20 for the use of university water and a hose.
Wow. Unbelievable what they'll get for.
It's because the NCAA is just... Why didn't
micro policy?
Why didn't the Ohio State University president say something about the NCAA like you said about Catholics in the SEC? Then we wouldn't be offended. We'd be cheering him.
Yeah, there you go. Well, out in Sandestin, and we'll be going out there soon to talk to our guy Mark Long from the Associated Press, where there's news being made. Among the things they're talking about is the schedule, and somebody asked Spurrier about some of his old lines, he said, back in the day, and he was talking about some of his best jabs, which were some of the classics. We'll tell you about that next right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Since 1976, Daniel L. Hightower, a lawyer, has been fighting for accident victim justice in North Central Florida and statewide. He believes everyone in America should follow the rules, including the insurance companies. He and his firm have experience fighting for victims of personal injury, wrongful death, workers' compensation, and Social Security disability, as well as serving those in need of help with bankruptcy, simple wills, and estate plans. The mission at the law offices of Daniel L. Hightower, PA, is to represent deserving clients and recover the maximum benefits they are entitled to by law in a timely manner. In personal injury and workers' compensation cases, there are no fees or costs unless a recovery is made. The law office of Daniel L. Hightower is located at 7 East Silver Springs Boulevard, Suite 300. For your free consultation, call 352-629-7777 or 1-888-LAW-1976 and visit danhightower.com for more information. Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice, and the proud sponsor of Ask the Cops.
Hi, this is Tom Schmitz, the host of Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA. The Saturday Sports Page is your weekend destination for everything sports, from NASCAR to golf, baseball to boxing, and of course the best, most comprehensive football coverage on the radio. Also, you don't want to miss my weekly Are You Kidding Me rant? So join me and JJ LaSalva every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA, The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin for Renstar Medical Research. Every day we hear another story about innovation or about the cutting edge of technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. But did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that will impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people are right now. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend an opportunity to you to be a part of these. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
WOCA, News Talk 1370. Good talk, great conversation.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Our tractor services include bush hog, disking, front end loader, box blade, and stump grinding. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are licensed and insured. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440 or online at powellgene, Gene, at yahoo.com. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing.
Call me crazy. Some people say insanity is doing the same thing over and over expecting a different result. I think insanity is 1,000 single-sided full-color business cards for $15 or packing service for 50% off. Call me crazy. Regency Printing on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street. 789-6683. That's 789-6683. Look for the yellow signs.
The
The weather is brought to you by MyFWC.com. Life jackets save lives. Wear it. Florida, partly sunny and rather humid today. The high 84 to 90 this afternoon. Staying muggy tonight, the low 67 to 78. Partly sunny tomorrow, but breezy. High 84 to 88. We can see some showers and thunderstorms around for Saturday. Otherwise, clouds and sun. The high of 84 to 88 as we begin the weekend. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dan DePodwin.
Hi, this is Joe, and I'm your host for the new show, Damage Control, every Tuesday morning at 10:30 a.m., brought to you by Damage Control Services. We're going to be discussing floods, fires, storm and tree damage, sinkholes, mold, and many other disasters that you need to know about, how to prevent and prepare for them, as well as what to do when it happens and what to expect after it happens. This is Damage Control, Tuesdays at 10:30, right here on The Source.
1370 WOCA.
Coming up at 5:30, the man who wrote the story, I was looking at it today on ESPN, the Associate Press, Mark Long, will be here with us at 5:30, and this is a little story on coaches and who take their jabs at people. And it revisits Steve Spurrier and some of his finest moments. And it centers on the comment made by Tim Davis, the coach at Florida, who made a remark about Nick Saban, called him, quote-unquote, the devil himself, which caused a little bit of a stir. Will Muschamp saying, I was very disappointed at what Tim said. I don't think it's reflective of how his true opinion of Nick and the opportunities that Nick gave him at Miami and Alabama. And Saban says, it's not really bothersome to me. Yeah, Nick, it's not bothersome to you. Of course it's bothersome to you. Who wouldn't it be? Meanwhile, the writer, and I'm just going to assume this is Mark Long because he's the only AP guy there right now in Destin. He's got Steve Spurrier talking about some of his great moments. I still think his classic comment was Free Shoes University. That was his best, I think. But there was this one he talked about. Somebody asked him about that comment he made about Tennessee.
Can't spell citrus without UT.
Citrus and UT. Said that was an original one. You can't spell citrus without UT. And Spurrier, he likes to, somehow Spurrier said it and it didn't sound so bad, did it?
Well, but it wasn't
a personal attack on somebody.
But it was a fact. You can't spell the word citrus without putting the letters U and T in it.
Yeah, but that's not the point.
The point was
trying to demean Tennessee.
The point was, he wasn't demeaning Tennessee. He was pointing out that Tennessee was a virtual lock year in and year out for the Citrus Bowl because they would lose to Florida in the third week of the season.
And that was what they call a pejorative comment, Anyway, so they asked him about, I guess Mark did, and we'll talk to Mark about this at the bottom of the hour, about his Free Shoes University. He said, ask him about that. He says, I think you can joke around a little bit, he said. He said, at one time, Dabo, meaning Dabo Swinney, says he got after his Dabo for saying the real Carolina, North Carolina. Spurrier said that.
Dabo Swinney said the real Carolina was North Carolina.
The real Carolina,
basketball.
North Carolina. I mean, they're traditional basketball. And that's his favorite, he said, of the North Carolina comments. He said, I don't know if that's going to be funny or what. Big deal. Dabo's starting to laugh about it now. Well, Spurrier has a little shot there.
For Dabo to say the real Carolina, North Carolina with their basketball and everything, trying to take a shot at the University of South Carolina, but in actuality, he took a shot at the state his school's located in.
Right, of course. That's the obvious thing. But then Mark Rick said, you say something at the grocery store and somebody tweets it, and then it's national news. So you got to be careful what you say, which in some ways is real good, in some ways healthy. He said, in some ways, it takes a lot of fun out of these events. And it does, because coaches don't talk open and freely anymore. You used to tell stories. They used to sit around and talk with you. They can't trust anybody, let alone the media, because everybody's got a phone.
You know who's to blame? Apple. The iPhone.
Well, I mean, you could send tweets before then.
Right, but the iPhone revolutionized the video camera and everything. These Androids and all were copies of the iPhone. Apple's to blame. Everybody boycott Apple. They're to blame.
Well, I particularly liked it back in the day. I kind of like sporting, when you have fun. When it gets to be a little, like calling someone the devil himself, that's not fun. Although they call Spurrier the evil genius. Used
Right.
to call him that all the time. That was his nickname. But he didn't mind because he's got the needle out. He's sticking to somebody else.
Well, I have a friend of mine that was a pool reporter for the Dolphins down in Miami.
He lived in the reporter on the pool.
Yeah, that's what he was. He worked for the. It's somebody that worked down in the South for the paper, and he said that his interactions with Nick Saban lend some credence to that name.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I know it's a brand, and it's a comment below the belt. It's inappropriate to make a comment like that. I think it's inappropriate what Gordon Gee said about Catholics. I think it's very offensive. To me, it would be. Today, you could say those things 25 or 30 years ago, and it was okay. Today, you can't say anything like that.
you can say, that's where you and I have a disagreement. I think you can say whatever you want to say. You just have to live with the consequences of doing so. And if you lose your job, or if you say something to somebody in a parking lot, you use a racial slur, and they leave you laying in that parking lot, the consequences of you being an idiot is that you got dealt with.
Or you can lose your job.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Lose your job. Everybody should be able to say what they want to say. You just have to live with the consequences of what you say. And so that way, Gordon Gee, if he's not going to lose his job.
But we knew what Tim Davis, when he said it, we knew what was going to happen. We said on his show he's going to regret having said that. It's going to kind of bite him in the butt, and it did, in fact, do that. So we have Mark? No. Umatilla Steve's on the line? He never calls on a Thursday. Steve, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, hanging in there. Oh, you talking about the old ball coach. Yeah, maybe he's out there listening, buddy. I heard he was in town being honored tonight.
Yeah, he's up in Tallahassee.
Yeah. Surely our boy Tom knows where they're hanging out there. I'm sure he'd probably go out there and hang out with the governor. I know he's one of his good buddies there.
He is. He hosts all of his local parties. Whenever the governor comes to town for a party, Tom Schmitz is the host. He's the MC and all that.
Yeah, it's great to hear some of those old quotes. Yeah, man. I kind of miss him there. I hope Chad keeps this thing going next year. But
well, it's a lot more fun then for Gator fans because they were winning and they were on top, and Spurrier was slinging those little phrases around and having a little fun. And that's really his personality. He does it on the golf course. He loves to kid you.
I guess he's. I heard he was looking at a sophomore, and Bubba was in town out there. I guess y'all mentioned that the other week here. I don't know. I don't think he's ever gonna hang it up. I tell you, we used to joke he'd say he wasn't going to hang around to that other fella, that long. But I think he wants to win South Carolina that championship they've never won over there. I guess
Well, he was here, and it was his son, Steve Jr. He was looking at a freshman that's going to be a sophomore turning next year. But as far as I know, the old ball coach was not here in town.
Yeah, I know Florida had a linebacker right in the backyard up there. Now I see he's wavered. I guess he got to him there. It looked like we were going to take one from his backyard there next year.
Well, you know what happens is I read another one today about a lineman, and they want to take these trips. They make these commitments, and they wait a minute. I just turned down a trip to Tuscaloosa and Austin, Texas, and South Bend for free. What was I thinking about?
Well, I love the show. I want to get out there and see you guys.
Come on.
I'm driving and walking around. I hear you getting the new Diggs out there toward the mall, buddy, pretty soon.
Yeah, pretty soon, Paddock Mall. Be a little closer maybe for you to come out that way.
Well, I'll get out there and see you boys.
Come on by, Steve. Good to hear from you, buddy.
You got my man Fran's beard coming up, too, don't you?
He'll be here a little bit later on.
We love Fran's down here.
All right.
Well,
thank you, Steve.
All
Good talking
right,
to you,
man.
buddy.
Go Gators.
All right. Steve, he lost half his foot, diabetes.
Yeah.
It didn't hurt his spirits at all, did it?
No, he's still Umatilla.
Yeah. All right, let's talk some golf.
Let's do that. The leaderboard at the Memorial.
Is Mr. Golf in the house?
At Jack's tournament.
Okay.
At Muirfield Village Golf Club.
Muirfield.
Yep, in Dublin, Ohio. Charles, I can't even say his name.
Sorry.
Charles Schwartzel.
A lot of people think it's Charles. It's Charles.
Charles.
CHRL.
Charles Schwartzel, 7 under, finish for the day. He leads the event with Scott Piercy, Josh Cheater, with Scott Piercy in second, and then Josh Cheater, Russ Henley, and Kyle Stanley, and Charlie Wee all tied at 5 under.
Cut to the chase.
Tiger Woods, 2 under. Matt Kuchar,
Yeah.
3 under right there. Matt Kuchar.
He's having a good year.
He's right there in your face the whole time.
He's all around it all the time.
Tiger Woods is 2 under through 14, I believe. And Teddy Potter Jr., even through 14. tied for 42nd. Tiger Woods tied for 15th at 2 under. And our guy, Billy Horschel, University of Florida guy, 2 under, also tied for 15th. He's finished for the day. So
weather okay so far? Because sometimes Memorial has bad weather.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Temperatures 86 degrees. It is mostly cloudy, though. There is a chance of rain, but it looks like it'll hold off till tonight. So that's that's your update on the Memorial from Muirfield Village in Dublin, Ohio. Ted Potter Jr., even par through 14 holes.
There you go. NBA notes, other things going on. Apparently, there's some Byron Scott now is being looked at by the Clippers. So
Byron Scott's being looked at all the time.
Yeah. There's a lot of these guys like on the gravy train.
We just have to ask Chris Paul who he wants to be the coach. That's what it'll be.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of different rumors.
This is a new one. Apparently, they've contacted Byron Scott. And
well, there's one going around about how Chris Paul refuses to have anybody unless he's an African American coach, and he's which would be
kind of
very
a first for being able to dictate the race of somebody of your coach.
Yes,
I can understand anything else. It seems to me that having a player pick the race of the coach,
players shouldn't be able to pick a coach at all.
They don't, but they do.
But it's happened for Magic Johnson did it.
Yeah,
Michael Jordan did it.
It's their precedence for it. The thing is that what would you say if a white coach demanded to have a white coach? That would not go well.
A white player demanded to have a white coach.
That would never fly.
Right. No. That would not go well. So, anyway, you didn't mention one of the score. You failed to mention what Rory McIlroy shot today. I tell you.
Well,
big score.
78.
I was trying not to embarrass the young man.
78, so.
Probably won't make the cut.
I'm going to take a break. Come back, check on the news in Destin, Florida, where the SEC is meeting. We'll talk to Mark Long of the AP next, right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. I want to tell you about a conversation I had recently with General Manager Pat Murray on the great family atmosphere at Country Club of Ocala.
It's a family-first club. Again, we have any number of different types of memberships, but obviously the one that attracts the greatest level of interest is our family. And the reason for that is we have a little something for everybody. I mean, we obviously have a world-class golf course. We have 7 tennis courts here for all levels of tennis players. We have a junior Olympic-sized swimming pool. We have a fitness center that's second to none, and we have state-of-the-art equipment in our fitness center.
Country Club of Ocala, where the facilities are all a family would ever need. For more information, call today at 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of Monday's Gator Report and Gator Talk Thursday right here on The Source.
Hi, it's Lisa Midget with Kinetic Motion Fitness. I'm looking forward to a fun, healthy summer, and I have a few ideas that might just help you and your friends stay in shape and have fun too. Along with awesome personal training and group classes at our warm and inviting fitness studio, we also offer fitness classes at your home or business. And if you're tired of the same old, boring cake and punch party, why not let us host a hot new health trend, a fitness party at your home or office? If you're having a hard time getting to the gym this summer, because of your crazy schedule, then work out with your friends or coworkers in a private group fitness class or host a fitness party at your home or office. We will bring you and your friends or coworkers one of our great workouts like Zumba, Pilates, Body Bar, Yoga, Tai Chi, Boot Camp, or Zumba Tonics for kids. We can even help you reach your long-term goals by meeting at your place weekly for an on-location workout. Check out our website at kmfocala.com and like us on Facebook. Kinetic Motion Fitness is located just 5 minutes from downtown Ocala near the Skylark Plaza. Kinetic Motion Fitness. We're ready when you are.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to James A. Cusimano, an entertainer, a scientist, a corporate executive, an entrepreneur, an inspirational speaker, and an author. He's written a book called Balance, the Business-Life Connection, a step-by-step method for identifying and recapturing one's essence.
Open for debate where you get to choose the topic.
And then Jim George will be on. He's the owner of American Cable Services. He'll be answering all of our questions about electronics.
Gail Trotter is an attorney and a senior fellow with the Independent Women's Forum. She will be speaking about the testimony of IRS Director Lois Lerner.
And then Ocala Magazine Radio with your host John Sotomayor, the executive editor of Ocala Magazine.
Dr. E.Z. Friedel is a surgeon and a novelist. He's written a book called Marilyn's Red Diary. It's a novel based on new information on what might have really happened to Marilyn Monroe.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Hi, I'm Bianca.
I'm Debbie.
And I'm Lupe. And we would like to invite you to come visit our Merle Norman salon.
Come check out our Merle Norman's award-winning makeup.
Come experience our hair color, highlights, lowlights, perms, and organic keratin treatments. Oh yes, I just had one done on my hair, and they are amazing. That's because it eliminates frizz, reducing the amount of products and time spent on your hair. Normally, if I skip styling products, my hair's a mess. But after this treatment, my hair's awesome.
Merle Norman Studio is a full-service salon. We offer everything from massages to eyelash extensions. And don't forget to ask about our free makeovers.
We would love to meet you. So call us today at 352-368-5008. Or stop in and say hi. We're located at 1012 East Silver Springs Boulevard, just a few blocks east of the downtown square.
Merle Norman Cosmetics Studio and Salon.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA The Source.
Paid off a guard and he slipped out a letter to my cousin in Tennessee. And he brought down me a blue tick hound, Lord, she's pretty as she could be. Pinned her up in the swampland about a mile just south of the gate.
All right, back in the program, waiting on Mark Long. He's probably covering something out in Destin. We'll be checking in with him momentarily. This is a story about when you take things a little too seriously. A Mexican soccer fan upset by America's win over Cruz Azul, I guess is how you pronounce it, Cruz Azul, apparently got a little disturbed because it was a dramatic win by the American team, and his neighbor apparently started cheering him for that team, cheering for America. So this guy decided he'd kill him. Shot and killed. A Mexican soccer fan killed his neighbor for celebrating America's win over this team, Cruz Azul. You know this team, JJ?
Club America, and it's not actually America. Club America and Cruz Azul. They're like big rivals in Mexico. It was the championship game, and in like the 93rd minute, they had to bring their goalie down to the other end. Like, you know, hockey, they pull a goalie basically, but they can't pull him, so they bring him to the other end of the field, and he ended up scoring to send it to extra time, which never happens. And there was also another story about a Mexican fan who killed another guy.
On that note, apparently this guy, Manuel Noriega, watched the game with his neighbor, Gabriel Escalante. At the end of it, Escalante began acting euphorically to celebrate America's victory. And he was, of course, that upset Noriega, pulled out his gun and shot him dead.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, alcohol abuse was involved.
Well, you remember ESPN did a 30 for 30 about the two Pablo Escobars.
Right.
The Pablo Escobar that was a soccer player made an own goal and got gunned down in the streets of Colombia.
Yeah, those are well.
They're a little
documented.
serious about that game.
South America's really crazy, man. Europe, they're less bad than they were
Mostly
in the 70s and 80s.
Mostly hooligans.
Yeah, but they're done now. That doesn't really exist much anymore. They keep them out of the stadiums. That's sort of an outside the stadium thing. But South America, they still let, most of these clubs let these people in.
Yeah. Also want to mention today, 31 years ago, Cal Ripken Jr. started his record streak of 2,632 consecutive games played.
Never be broken.
Never will be broken. And I'll tell you more about Tim Tebow and what
He's joined Walter Johnson with records that won't be touched.
Dan Marino has a comment about Tebow. Who doesn't? Meanwhile, there's a guy who's in Destin writing stories about things like old Steve Spurrier saws, things that Steve used to say to upset his opponents. I'm pretty sure that's Mark Long. It looks like his style. Let's find out. Go right now to the hotline and talk to Mark Long of the AP. Is that you, Mark?
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Good. Was that your story I read on ESPN just now? An AP story about famous things that Spurrier has said?
Yeah, I mean, it was basically, the whole story stems from, the Tim Davis,
right,
Nick Saban comments. James Franklin also called Nick Saban Little Nicky earlier this year. Nicky Satan earlier this year. So,
right.
So it was basically a story how all these SC coaches are now very wary of public speaking and saying anything, that's going to get tweeted out 1,000 times or blown up beyond what it used to be, which was, these things used to be, these Gator Booster meetings and whatnot used to be great for head coaches to come in and tell jokes to their faithful followers and, and have a little fun now. And Spurrier was the king of that. That's, Free Shoes University for Florida State, can't spell citrus without UT. So even Spurrier admits things have changed, but he thinks you can still have some fun. It just matter what you say, and he's probably right there in terms of using devil or Satan analogies. That's probably, well, it's not even probably, that's definitely over the line compared to what you can and can't say.
So if I read your story right, there's a quote from him. He's actually saying that the citrus in UT was an original from him, huh?
Yeah, he's taken full credit. He actually said Free Shoes University was not his original joke. He got that from somebody else and used it.
You know who it was?
Citrus in UT was his original.
Right. Do you know who he got it from?
I'm going to guess you.
No.
Oh,
Mike
okay.
Bianchi claims it was him.
Oh, wow, okay. Well,
He claims that was his. Yeah.
It might be. Well, yeah. Steve didn't say who. He just said it wasn't original. But he said UT and Citrus was original, and he's very proud of that.
Well, yeah, that's pretty harmless, compared to saying somebody's the devil, although they call Spurrier the devil, too. The fun is gone out of that anymore, and now if you say anything, certainly Gordon Gee found that out today, the president of Ohio State University, his statement about Catholics and the SEC, I'm not sure which ones he offended most. So.
Exactly, and Louisville and all those.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what I was talking about in the story. You just can't say anything now, even if you're trying to make a joke and you're talking to people, your peers, all of whom might laugh or do laugh. You still just can't get away with it because guess what? It's going to end up. It's going to leak. Somebody's going to have a video of it or a recording of it, and somebody's going to tweet something about it, and you just can't escape it. And that's not the case, 20 years ago. If all you had to do was convince, 2 or 3 writers that, I was just a joke kind of thing like that, and get them to not write about it, it would kind of disappear. But nowadays, that's not the case with blogs and Twitter and all kinds of things like that.
Will Muschamp had to say something about the Tim Davis incident because you knew that minute that came out, calling Saban the devil himself, that was not going to fly very well. And obviously Foley, Jeremy Foley had to write a letter of apology as well. I don't think Tim Davis has really earned that ability to do that just yet on that staff. And I think he got braced for that, So
yeah, I am still a little surprised, buddy, that Tim Davis hasn't tried to or actually apologized to Nick Saban. I mean, this is a guy who worked for him, with the Dolphins and in Alabama, LSU, and so he's worked with the guys, So I'm just a little surprised that Tim Davis wouldn't at least pick up the phone to some degree.
Well, maybe he did.
And
Maybe he did do that. Do you know that he didn't?
I mean, they got 3 people saying, Jeremy Foley, Will Muschamp, and Nick Saban all say that the only people who have apologized right now so far are Jeremy and Will Muschamp.
Well, you're the reporter on the scene. You would know that for sure. Let's talk about something kind of semi-serious, although it's more fun to talk about the fun things. The scheduling issues. This is something that The SEC comes into Destin. They got issues with the fact that 9 teams reportedly dropped in attendance in the SEC, which is phenomenal. You can think about that. And they're talking about an 8-game schedule, 9-game schedule. Foley saying yesterday that if he had to, he'd drop Miami, or didn't have on schedule, but he'd always keep Florida State. What are they saying about the schedule out there right now?
Yeah, I mean, they took a vote, the coaches, yesterday, and that thing it was 13-1. 13 coaches voted in favor of keeping an 8-game SEC schedule. One coach, Nick Saban, voting to increase it to a 9-game SEC schedule. The league here, meanwhile, is basically saying we don't necessarily have to go to 9, but what we have to do is eliminate those 4 non-conference games being complete duds. And if you look at Mississippi State the last few years, they're the number one violator of this, of having 4 complete duds on the schedule. And if you look at Texas A&M next year, this upcoming season, they've got 4 complete duds on the schedule, games that fans aren't going to want to go to. And so Nick Saban came in with the idea of, hey, look, eventually people are going to stop going to these games. You can sit at home for free, watch it on television, comfort of your home, and great, amazing HD television. And he says you're not missing a whole lot in a 49-2 game or whatever the final score is. And he's absolutely right. And he says, if you increase the schedule to 9 games and make everybody play 9 conference games, you're automatically eliminating one of those, 1AA opponents or whatever it is. And he's right, but the rest of the coaches don't agree, and here's the difference. Nick Saban's looking at this from a perspective of, he doesn't, it's about getting to the national title game. It's about having a strong strength of schedule and a strong resume so that when we go to this playoff next year that, Alabama's sitting there looking pretty, as opposed to all these other schools are looking at this as, hey, listen, we got to get bowl eligible. And it certainly doesn't help us to add an SEC game to get bowl eligible. And there's a lot of teams in that position. Mississippi State, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, all those teams and a few more, Missouri for that matter. The number one priority for them is get to a bowl. They're not looking at, winning a national title. They realize that their program is not on that level. So again, that's why this thing's not getting the support. 9-game schedule's not getting the support, that Nick Saban and some other people want to see.
I can understand that completely. I mean, that you be careful what you wish for. Just like they wish for this big fat contract with ESPN, which they got, and the money they're making on these schools are. And by the same token, because there's so many games on TV in HD, people aren't going to want to go to the games. That's why attendance is down, as you said, and Saban knows that. It didn't take a genius to figure that part out. So I think overall the fan base has eroded a little bit, at least the paying fan base, when they can get it for free. And these tickets are not cheap, Mark, as you know. So the question becomes, is it sort of a false statistic that attendance is down if ratings are up in TV and they're getting just as much money or more from TV than they would be the fans?
Yeah, I mean, it's a chicken and the egg thing. You're absolutely right that attendance is down, but ratings are up, and that is exactly what it is. It's people not wanting to go to the games because it's so expensive, and also because they can sit at home and watch it for free. And then the quality of the opponents, which we moved to this 12-game regular season schedule. When we moved to that, the whole promise behind that was, well, this is going to set up, Florida to play Miami more often, or set up those kind of matchups. And the reality is, most of the SEC has not done that. There's been few. It's been few and far between. Even Florida, for that matter, they've only played Miami in 2008. And then everything else has been a home game. They're not going on the road, home and home with Oklahoma. They're not setting up home and home with Notre Dame. And we all get why they do it. And certainly the Florida-Georgia rivalry in Jacksonville makes it a little more difficult for both of those teams to schedule home and homes. But, it's not what we were promised as a fan. As a fan of college football, we were thinking this was going to lead to these awesome matchups. And it just hasn't. So, I think that's part of it. And, I think they're going to try to do something about it. We'll see how it works. The bottom line here is TV is going to dictate this thing. No. The SEC network, which is, partnering with ESPN, they've paid a ton of money to these schools. and they're not going to allow for Georgia versus Georgia State. They're not going to allow for that kind of matchup. They want Georgia, Oklahoma. They want Florida. They'll take Georgia versus Ole Miss. They'll take the 9-game schedule because that's good in their minds. That's good, much better than, Florida versus, Middle Tennessee State.
Yeah, but with the SEC network, we're getting to see Paul Feinbaum's ears. So I'm sorry, that was probably a cheap shot. Final question from Mark Long of the AP, and that is, Steve Spurrier today named by Governor Scott as a great Floridian. Will he be named a great Tennessean and great South Carolinian and get the hat trick of the greatness? I don't know. What do you think?
Well, assuming those states have those designations, I think he should. He certainly has been one of Tennessee's, one of their better college football faces of college football, over the years. And then what he's done at South Carolina, back-to-back 10-win seasons, never happened in school history, and then Steve does it. And he's going to have that team's going to, is on his voice for the big year this year. And, it would not stun me at all if he pulled the trifecta.
Plus, you get to write about his quotes 10 years after they happen, which is always cool. So the guy's good, right?
His quotes will never get old.
They won't.
And will always be funny to me, you, and probably everybody else.
I grant. Thanks a lot for the time, and appreciate your conversation, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Okay, anytime, buddy.
Mark Long, Associated Press, straight from Destin, where the SEC coaches are meeting.
Hey, before we go to break, buddy, just to follow up on your Gordon Gee, Tim Reynolds put this tweet out there. Not for nothing, Gordon Gee, but Urban Meyer was named for a Catholic pope.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. All right. Well, he's offended the Pope probably, too. We'll take a break. We'll come back, and we'll catch up to the final segment, see what's on the news wire, and wrap up today right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase process fixed rate alone.
Mayday! Mayday! Our buyer blew it. He ordered 38 cars instead of 8. And now we have got way too much inventory.
Hey, this is Chris Spears from Prestige Auto Sales. I've got to sell these 30 cars extra fast. I'm going spastic, so I've got to do something drastic.
Qualified buyers with $5 down can drive a nicer, newer car today. Who knew $5 could get you a nicer, newer car?
Well, it can, because I'm in a jam.
Is bad credit causing you distress? My For the People credit approval process just may save the day. Get approved for a nicer, newer car you'll love. Mayday! Mayday! Get down to Prestige Auto Sales right away. The Mayday Madness ends after we've cleared 37 cars.
My name is Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit Prestige Auto Sales or call 694-1224. See you at Prestige.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
The sound of the bat cracking, the crowd cheering, the smell of overpriced but tasty hot dogs, the memories that will last a lifetime of your first baseball game with little Johnny. Your team wins. It was a great night until you get home. It's 9 p.m. and your wife says you have no water.
We have no water.
What do you do?
What do you do?
Rule number 1, don't panic. Remain calm. Okay, that's 2 rules.
We don't have time for jokes, funny man.
Okay, think back. On the way home, you heard a radio commercial.
Mike's Got Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it.
Eureka. You saved the day. You remembered that Mike Scott Plumbing doesn't charge extra for nights, weekends, or holidays. You are a genius.
Hey, Mr. Genius, did you remember the phone number?
Of course you did. Remember, you're a genius. 352 888-237-2888. Because at Mike Scott Plumbing, if water runs through it, we do it. Even if water's not running through it at this particular moment. Mike Scott Plumbing.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Couples who are more materialistic have less stable relationships and report lower levels of marital satisfaction. People bashing each other and making comments they would never say to somebody's face. What makes people so rude online? First is the fact that sometimes we're anonymous. Volunteers who exercised for half an hour at night fell asleep significantly faster and slept more deeply than those who didn't exercise.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're ocalaforsale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to ocalaforsale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Ooh, what lightning. Well, a team and a revenues too, searching for a place where he made his brew. They were looking, trying to book him, but my pappy kept a cooking. Ooh, what lightning.
Back on the Voice of Ocala. I want to go back to this Maurice Jones-Drew story still gets me. And that's what I want to go back to. Reggae Sundays at the Conch House. Maurice Jones-Drew and his entourage are there, supposedly grabbing or
Me and Buddy usually
touching.
always go to Reggae Sundays, and there's never trouble, so...
They're touching or
This is a
grabbing
strange
some
story
waitress, one of his entourage, and they say the people are claiming that Maurice Jones-Drew ran up and sucker punched the guy who was trying to stop it and then ran off. The St. Augustine police, it's been Sunday now till Thursday. The St. Augustine police they're police. They're not. It'd be like somebody saying, oh, well, he was famous, so Greg Graham won't do anything. The St. Augustine police are if there was something to arrest him for, they would have arrested him by now. He's not, in this day and age, you're not getting preferential treatment, especially in a vacation town like St. Augustine that needs the safety at these kind of events for its livelihood. I think that we're going to find out there's not a whole lot to this story.
Well, they have video now.
Well, they say the lawyer says they have video. I'm telling you, if there was video, the St. Augustine Police Department would have that
No,
video.
that's not necessarily true. They don't have to see a video to charge somebody beforehand.
That's not what I'm saying, but the St. Augustine Police have not charged him. The St. Augustine Police have said in a statement they weren't even sure that Maurice Jones-Drew was there at the time of the incident.
But it's not with the police right now. Now it's a state thing.
But you don't understand
the police
what I'm
can't
saying.
go back and watch a video and decide a couple days later. That's for the state to do.
He's saying this security came from... This
Yeah.
video was a security video. It is still an open investigation. The state's not investigating these charges. Maurice Jones-Drew hadn't been arrested. The police are still investigating this. The state is not investigating this. The St. Augustine Police Department is still an open investigation with the St. Augustine Police Department. And they have not said anything about a video. If there was a security video, they'd have got that right away. That would have been one of the first things a detective would have got. They wouldn't have got it from a lawyer from the guy that said, oh, by the way, we went to the Conch House and got the video.
Yes, that's happened.
But the detectives would have got it from the Conch House.
Yeah, but there's not a detective that works that night of it.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to be...
An incident like that, a detective does come out and do an investigation that evening.
All right, so you think it's impossible for there to be a video right now? That's absurd.
I think it's impossible for there to be a security video from the Conch House without the police knowing about it.
All right, I need to blow my whistle. Time's up. We'll continue this conversation tomorrow. We've got basketball tonight. Don't forget, I think Hibbert's going to come up big, but comes up short. I think LeBron will go for 32 tonight, and Hibbert will score probably 28, and the Heat will win it by 5. That's my opinion. And one more thing. Add Dan Marino to the list of people who want to pile on Tim Tebow. Tebow, he says, is a great kid. He's a great athlete, one of the best players ever to play the game. But as far as being able to play at a high level, as far as throwing the football in the league, he's just not there yet. I guess he missed all the Bronco games. They did win 8 games there, so... I will say that. He's starting a long way from being a Pro Bowl player, but everybody likes to pile on Tim Tebow. I want to thank our guests today. Lori Barton Gregory, of course, hosted the first hour with Tom Schmitz. We had Heather James. Already, Heather, getting good results from interview. Congratulations. Mark Long, the Associated Press. We missed him. We missed Franz Bear today. We're supposed to get a hold of him today, and we've got to. But we'll be back tomorrow. I want to thank our team here. JJ driving the bus over there. Sean back there in the dungeon in the archives and making things work. Tom Schmitz, my co-host here. I'm Buddy Martin. Have a great night, everybody.